And we're live. From the beach, which I can literally see out the window.
It's pretty exciting, I must say.
It's a big day for all of us.
You gonna throw that phone in the toilet?
Maybe. I could probably throw it to the beach from here.
Stop bragging about living by the beach.
I can see the planetarium from here.
Do you have a bone disease which prevents you from pronouncing the T in planetarium?
I do.
I see.
What a silly-ass B-plot to put in a show. That you can't say a T. I would imagine it's somebody that they met in real life that just talked weird and they decided to make fun of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like them.
Yeah, I would hope that was the move.
Yeah.
You really are you are direct on the planetarium.
Yep.
Like that's the centerpiece of your view.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Right between the building, straight out the window. Yep.
Yeah.
I look at the planetarium all day.
Have you been to the planetarium?
Like since I moved here? No.
No, not in the last week since you moved here. Ever.
That's a good question.
Yes, it is. I would say, I don't want to toot my own horn. I think it's my best question.
The best question you've ever asked. I agree. It's good. It's gotcha journalism. I maybe...
Guys, Drew is so fucking busted. He's never been to the planetarium.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because I went to school in Coquitlam, to get all of the kids from Coquitlam to the planetarium is pretty challenging.
That's a slog. Yeah, that's a real schlep.
I imagine you've been.
I go every day. I have a season's pass.
A season's pass to the planetarium.
Yeah, I definitely went with school. I have not been since... is middle school a thing?
Here, yes. Other places, no.
Oh, really? Because I did not have middle school.
I had middle school.
I had junior school, senior school.
So what was your junior school?
My junior school, when I went to it, was 2 to 7 and 8 to 12. They have since added a 1 and maybe a K.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's just one whole school until you're in prime fucking years, and then...
Yeah, 12.
Scott, people were losing their virginity at 11, all right?
It's the hormones in the milk.
It's the milk. You promised me cat or higher. Mine was K to 6,
Okay.
7 and 8, and then 9 to 12.
Okay.
And it used to be K to 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12.
Interesting.
And then I guess so I was...
So the 11, 12, just everyone's fucking.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the oldest person there can fuck the youngest person there, and it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting, like just putting 11 and 12 together.
Yeah. I think, well, because that was, I guess...
Because you couldn't have done that at mine. You couldn't have, like, the oldest grade 12 fucking the youngest grade 8. Also, I went to an all-boys school. So let's keep that on the table.
Yeah, that's the prime discussion for on the table. So what was it like going to an all-boys school?
Awesome.
Was there lots of awkward boners?
I mean, presumably, but we're all in the same playing field.
They were also Asian boners, so they were small and you couldn't tell?
Yeah, and it's not like half the people had awkward boners. Everyone had awkward boners. It was fine.
What was the ratio of ethnics? Like, I guess break it down. Like, how much percentage of the school was Asian, and then what was white, and what was Indian, and what was other?
My grade, because the grade 1 year younger than me had a much higher Chinese population.
Okay.
The grade below me was well over 50%. Mine was not. Mine would be... What would it be? Let's say close to 50 white, 35 Chinese, almost the other 15 East Indian, and then trace elements after that.
One black kid.
No black kids.
Of course, why would there be a black kid? It's Vancouver.
One Japanese. Shout out to Kazuki Mukai.
Interesting.
I'm lumping the other East Asians together. Japan gets their own category, and then the rest.
Because as we've established, they are the number one Asian.
Alphas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So alpha, they don't need to fuck anymore.
They don't need to. They don't want to.
Yeah.
Some of them can't.
Yeah. Some Japanese men have evolved to not even have dicks anymore.
Yeah. It's just a hole to pee.
It's the next level.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get there.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say my entire childhood was, I don't know, like every year, even like middle school and high school, it was like 80% white.
That's the dream.
And then like,
hold on, just don't talk for a minute. Just let me picture it.
I just want to imagine an all white high school.
Seems so.
It was like, yeah, it was 80% white, 10% Asian, mostly Chinese, and then the rest was sort of a 10% mixture.
Black South African.
No, we had white South Africans though.
For real?
Like 2 or 3. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a couple South Africans.
You had like Boers.
Boers. Yeah. There were 2 black kids in the entire school.
I think we had, when I was there was 1 in 8 through 12.
Yeah, I had 2 in 9 to 12.
And I think ours was in. Are you allowed to just call them? Are you allowed to just call them imports? For sports, because like our school did that.
Okay, that's
like colleges do.
Right. Yeah. What though? Because did you have a football team?
We did not. We did have a basketball team.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's not what he played.
Oh,
he was a chess superstar. Just kidding. Just kidding. It was basketball.
You kind of blew my mind for a second, and I had to like recover. That's interesting. Like I was gonna say, what was he, a badminton player?
No, I was a badminton player.
I know you were. You're a real birdie boy.
I'm gonna say my grade is the only grade in history.
Why isn't it herstory?
Because his Women's History Month is over. The only grade in history where 2 of the top 3 badminton players were white.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. What, was your whole ping pong team white?
No.
Did you have a ping pong team?
Yes.
Interesting.
Do we have a team, or was it just like a rec thing?
Or like a group, like a club?
I think it was a club. I don't think there was a lot of competition with other schools.
As far as I remember, we didn't have a badminton team.
Cowards. If you did, I would have kicked your ass.
I mean, probably you were a all boys school where they had to focus all their sexual energy towards playing badminton.
Yeah, whereas channeling our non-pussy getting energy into racket sports.
Whereas in my public high school that was mixed,
more like pubic.
It was more about getting laid and also bullying and racism. So
I mean, we had those. Actually, we were shockingly not racist.
That's crazy.
I discovered racism in my later years. The problem is, future parents, if you expose your child at a young age to like too many races and too much like integration and multiculturalism, they might not be racist. So
you don't say.
Please do yourselves a favor and segregate your kids so they can be good racists when they grow up.
Gotta keep them from mixing.
I had to work really hard to become racist. Like, it didn't come natural to me.
It's a lifelong process.
Yeah.
You gotta develop, you gotta spend hours in the gym, in the racism gym.
Yep.
Doing your white power lifts and
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, my 2 best friends, one was like half Greek, half Norwegian, but he's just white. And the other one was half Filipino, half Chinese, but was the biggest banana you've ever met.
Nice.
So like he was the only thing Asian about him was his parents and his grandma. Like that was it.
Yeah.
So, and I remember having one other Chinese friend who all of us refused to go to his house because his house always smelled like cooking.
Yeah.
And it smelled gross. So we're like, yeah, let's not go to his house. Let's go outside.
Yeah, let's not go to
Let's breathe in fresh air.
Let's not go to Hotel Fish Sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a real mixture of random smells and flavors and yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, all of my friends growing up. I had one Indian friend, actually weird, half Indian, half black, but his Indian family moved to Africa.
Huh.
And then his parents met and then moved here.
I mean, the Indians are a caste up in Africa, so maybe they just wanted to, like...
They're the whites of Africa?
Yeah, kind of.
Other than the South Africans.
Because, like, Gandhi was like, blacks are bad.
True.
Yeah.
True. I mean, I think that's a lot of Indian culture is everyone's bad.
Yeah, true.
Even other Indians.
Yeah, other Indians that have slightly less money than you.
Yeah, the North and the South hate each other.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from this part? I don't like you. Even though we're the same. But I guess that's the world. That's everywhere.
It's the world.
It's the world.
Gotta hate something.
Yeah. I can't, like, did you have a sister school that you had to do, like, weird things with? Like dances or...
Yes.
Or festivals or whatever?
Yeah. We kind of had two. We kind of had, like, the other two major, like, private girls' schools.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you were forced to do things with them?
I mean, yeah, we would do, like, dances with them and stuff.
Oh. That's where all the boners came in.
Yeah.
And,
but also just in class as well with dudes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems... I'm happier about that than I am about the dances. So, I mean, if you're gonna get a boner, it better be during class with a bunch of other dudes in the room.
During chemistry,
yeah,
with a bunch of other dudes.
During sexual chemistry class.
That was a good class. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I would imagine teaching sex ed to an all boys school would be very interesting.
Yeah, we brought in outsiders for that. Like, we didn't have, like, a stock teacher do it. Like, we brought in a specialist. I think we brought in, like, Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Or I think we had Dr. Ruth.
What was that lady that used to have, that old lady that had that late night sex talk show on...
Is that Dr. Ruth or is that someone else?
I think it was somebody else. It might just be a Canadian thing.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember if there was a second person like it or if it was also just Dr. Ruth.
Maybe it is Dr. Ruth. It was... Oh, yeah, here we go. Sue Johansson.
Okay.
And it was called Talk Sex.
I will, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to watch that show all the time and giggle to ourselves.
Yeah, it's great. The best part of sex ed...
Wow, she's still alive. She's 90 years old.
Holy shit. The best part of sex ed, I assume you guys had something similar, was when... did they have a thing where you could, like, write anonymous questions?
Yeah.
The best.
I remember learning... Because we did sex ed in grade 6.
Yeah.
And I remember, like... Everybody was so afraid to ask questions.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that got written down on a piece of cardboard, like
a piece of cardboard. Your school was squalid.
I was going to say cardstock. The only thing got written down and given to the lady that was doing the presentation.
Yeah.
Was something about like, how long can your penis be?
Is there a maximum?
And then she was like, well, if it's, anything bigger than, I don't know what she told us. Like,
anything bigger than 2.5 inches is huge.
Yeah, and you would, like, all the blood would rush into it. You would completely pass out.
Yeah.
And you would, and that just set us off. Like, we were just, like, laughing so hard about, like, 10-inch penises that would make you pass out.
Yeah, I hear if, like, any penis bigger than 4 inches can kill a woman.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Only if it's hard, though, which is never really a problem.
Never a problem.
Never a problem.
Yeah. I think we did it a few years. We did, like, maybe 5, 6, 7.
Why? Because you just weren't grasping the concept?
Well, like, so where do I put it again? But I feel like in 7, like, because we had a pretty good handle on it by grade 7.
Right.
So all the questions were just, like, mean. Like, hey, like, my friend Steven is gay. What advice do you have for him?
How can he not be gay?
Yeah. What's his problem?
I don't think we were really like that. I remember, like, so we did it in grade 6. But they invited all of the parents to come.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So like the parents sat in the back of the gym.
What are you talking about? In the gym? This was.
Oh yeah, it was like the whole. It was all of us.
We just did it in a classroom by ourselves, like gentlemen.
No.
What are you talking about?
This was all the kids sat cross-legged on the floor at the front, and all of the parents sat in chairs like at the very back. Right. I guess it was so that. I mean, it probably was so that they made sure that we got the right information, but also to learn what we were being taught.
Yeah, the only way I like this, if this was done as a passive-aggressive move by the school to like, hey, parents, this is what you're supposed to be telling them.
Yeah.
Why is this our fucking job?
I mean, it was 1990...
77?
Well, that's when you would have learned it, you old piece of shit.
I'm class of 2014, thank you very much.
Middle school class of 2014?
Middle school class of 2014. Go Cougars.
Go Cougars. Yeah, so they did that, and then I remember...
Do you know what our lame-ass, like, team name was? We were the St. George's Saints.
Creative.
What are you talking about?
Could have been the Saint Bernards.
Could have been the fucking dragons. That's what St. George killed. A dragon.
Fair.
Our, like, logo was a dragon.
Oh.
It was sometimes a dragon and sometimes a shield. But
Shield.
Don't get me started on the aesthetics of my school.
We were the Centennial Centaurs.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Is
and
a
our
centaur an
logo,
insect?
Our logo was a centaur. An insect?
6 limbs.
Oh.
Oh.
Where do the pants go?
Where do the pants go?
Do they have 2 penises?
Oh my god.
Is there a human penis at the chest of the horse
I mean,
and a horse dong at the back?
They honestly must have 2 hearts at least, right? You have 2 torsos, 2 hearts, 2 stomachs, 2 like sets of gutty works.
That is true.
Maybe 2 penises,
Maybe
depending on how far human torso goes down. Yeah, you could have a dick right at the front and then one at the back.
Yeah, little tiny baby dick at the front and a massive hog at the back.
Now we've had the argument before. If they just have the horse dick at the back, that's the only dick they have. Can they suck it? I say no. You say yes, because even for horses, you're massively overestimating horse dicks.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, if you
you're overestimating the angle that they're bending at, first of all, and you think their dick goes like from the very back to the very front of the horse part.
Yeah, that is true.
You're crazy.
I'm gonna see what the internet.
You're
tells
crazy
me.
for this one, Jay. Are you searching? Can centaurs suck their own dick?
No. I'm getting some very interesting.
This is some good. This is some good search history right here.
That's good. I opened a private window. Oh, where did it go? It was the main picture, and I should just connect this to the TV so you can see it better. It's perfect.
Oh, it is a centaur sucking his own dick.
It is a centaur sucking its own dick.
Yeah, I would like to see it on the big screen, but I can on the computer see.
Yeah, but you need to see it in full detail.
No, I
with a
agree.
veiny wiener.
That's true. I don't see any veins. I see the basic picture and shape. But
Should I continue to talk from under the table?
yeah, that's gonna sound like something. I'll say that.
Get in your hole.
I'll
That's
take
your hole.
little HDMI connectivity issue. You are just destroying your computer tower.
I can't really see what.
Are you trying to make a new hole and put it in there? That's not going to work.
I'm trying to make it fit, but I can't really see where I'm going.
This is disaster. Drew's lying on his side on the floor. He's been trying to plug in one thing for, I'm going to say, 15 minutes now.
Where does it... It's not even...
I bet you're not even doing the right hole.
I've had that problem before.
Yeah, we've all been there. There's no shame in it. It's hard to know what goes where.
Is it...
In this... Oh my god.
Well, like, the HDMI port is in such a weird position.
I know, they make it really tricky. I can't...
And
It's literally racist what they're doing to you. They're committing violence against you. This whole thing is going to come crashing down on you, and I'm not going to take you to the hospital because if I do, you won't learn. Did you get it?
No.
You actually didn't get it? Jesus Christ.
Well, I'll tell you what the main issue is.
That you're mentally retarded?
That's the second issue.
Okay.
Remember how before I had the internet stick out the front?
Yes.
So I put it in the back so I wouldn't keep banging into it.
Fair.
So now where it's plugged into the back
is blocking you?
Is directly in the way of me plugging in the HDMI.
Drew is now on his hands and knees hunched over the tower. It literally looks like he's having sex with his computer. It's pretty cool.
Because I'm the first man in history
who's ever had sex with their computer. Grow up. Everyone's doing it. can't believe you haven't got it. And I like that the payoff for this, once you eventually get the plug-in, is just for me to see the picture and nobody listening to see the picture.
That is absolutely the best payoff of anything that could ever happen.
At least tell them
is a visual gag on a podcast for the other person on the podcast.
Just for me. At least tell them exactly what to search.
Well, I literally just put centaur self-sucking.
Okay.
That's what I put in.
That's good.
So
you do that and you'll find it. What number picture was it?
I don't know, like the third one that came up.
Okay.
Oh, that was such a pain in the ass.
All right. I hope this is worth it.
Well,
give me the good stuff. He's going. Now, see, that bend. I don't think you're going to pull off that bend in real life. Look at the twist of the human part.
You look, 2 penises. 1, 2.
Oh, there sort of are 2 penises.
And boobs.
Yeah, and the person has tits. This is a lot's going on
also
here.
This one.
Nice.
There is some excellent centaur porn. Like this one.
There's someone sucking off a centaur. Anyone can do that. Oh boy, that one's nuts.
All right, now there's just a bunch of like regular pornography, but I feel like the body contorts more than you.
No, I think you're giving way too much credit.
Fine.
Show it to me in practice. Show it to me in the wild.
Well, I'm not a centaur, so I can't show you.
Find me a centaur then.
I can't. They don't exist, Scott.
Sure.
Just like a couple of gays that are both switches.
The elusive 2 switches.
The hypothesized switch-on-switch action. Yeah, I remember when we did it in high school, the teacher that taught us was my friend Dan Peach's mom, who was one of the gym teachers.
Was Dan Peach also
and
there?
Dan Peach was in my class, so he got to have sex ed with his mom, which he actually thought was funny.
Good for him.
So good for him.
Good for him being a good
Whereas
sport.
like the rest of us, we were all like making fun of the fact that his mom was talking to us about like female ejaculation.
Hey Dan, your mom's gonna teach me how to fuck.
Yeah. It's a real Monty Python situation where she's going to use one of us live in class as a demonstration. But,
yes.
Yeah. It was real awkward for everyone involved. I mean, probably mostly Dan and not the rest of us, but
yeah.
You know, it could be worse. Could have been an old man who didn't know what he was talking about. Mr. Wickenheiser could have taught us.
I like that name.
Whose son went to our school and we all hated, and definitely would have done the John Mulaney party-related thing if we had ever gone to his house. Somebody would have shit on Mr. Wickenheiser's computer. Somebody. I'm not naming names, but just somebody.
It would have happened.
It would have happened. I mean, I've told that story of me trying to steal a photograph and then remembering that the guy who I didn't like, whose picture I was going to steal, was of his dad who had died. And I totally forgot about that, so... Yeah, that was the highlight of my life. Also, showing up to that party late and seeing a guy from high school already drunk, passed out on the front lawn.
Nice.
That was our 10-year anniversary.
That's how you know it's good.
So yeah, he was already shit-faced drunk, passed out on the front lawn. So yeah, high school was a real bag of shit for me. So mostly because I didn't go or try hard, and I only sort of barely graduated.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it was a little bit above sort of graduating, but I did. It was really ridiculous. I did super good on my provincial exams, and then they thought I cheated, and then they made me take the English one again. But like different questions though.
Holy shit!
Because they thought I cheated. Because my grade going in
was trash.
Was like 60%.
Yeah.
Because like I wasn't going to class and I wasn't really doing anything other than the big projects, and so I did it. I got like 92. Or 89.
Yeah, and they're like...
And they're like, what the fuck? They're like, no.
Do it again.
Do it again in a room by yourself with a teacher sitting in the room.
Straight up thought you cheated.
I did it again, and I got less. I think I got like 84 maybe.
Not a lot less.
But they were just like, all right. And so that, but So then I was like, do I get to keep the first one? And they said no.
Fuckers!
So I got the 84, not the 89.
So by that logic, they still think you cheated on the first one and got lucky on the second one. And they'll give you the lucky one, but not the one
not
you
the
cheated
cheating
on.
one. Yeah. Same thing with history. I didn't
Also, how do you cheat on an English? Isn't a lot of English one an essay?
Yeah, that's written essay and stuff. And like the way that they do it is like if you're like because they sit you in rows in the gym.
Yeah.
So like your entire row gets like the green one, the yellow one, the green one, the yellow one. So the person in front of you and the people next to you
match.
Have the different one that you have.
Right.
So that you can't just go look and cheat, right? So I don't even know how it would have been possible for me to see anyone else's paper.
I think what the move is you... How do you do this? Okay. You do the same setup that you had. You do shitty throughout the year.
Yeah.
That's step one.
Yeah.
Step two is do very good on your provincial enough that they think you're cheating.
Right.
Okay? But while you're writing your provincial legit, you're also memorizing the guy beside you.
Ah.
So when they make you redo it, you get 100 on the redo.
I think you're giving my mental capacity too much credit for being able to memorize a test.
An entire English
while
exam.
also taking another
also
test.
doing a different one.
Yeah. But yeah, it was the same thing for me for like the history exam as well. Like I think I did like I got like 80 or 82 or something, and I remember that I spent too much time on the earlier part of it, so by the end the like written part of it was you had to write something about fascism, and I was writing.
And all you had time left for was it's cool and a swastika.
I like it, swastika. So like I was running out of time. Or no, maybe it was communism. I think they had to write about communism, and so I was like running out of time. I had written a bunch of it, but then I still had to do like however many words you had to write.
Yeah.
So I just literally started like writing about Nazi Germany and just like throwing in anything, like just like throwing darts at a board and like hoping that I get enough points to pass. And then they didn't question me on because they saw what I wrote in the essay, but my teacher afterwards was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you try this entire year? And now I was like, I don't know, man, school's for losers. And then, like, I'm a cool guy who gets bullied, but I still don't go to school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was just more interested in, like, playing video games and J&O and playing sports.
You're a day one gamer.
Yeah, like playing video games, jerking off, and playing sports. That's all I cared about. I didn't actually care about going to school.
Pokemon Snap all day. Just taking pictures.
Yeah, just taking pictures.
Taking pictures of little pocket monsters.
That do nothing for you. Like, you don't get any reward out of doing it.
Pokemon Snap, only Pokemon game I've ever played.
If you want, there's a copy of Pokemon Sun and Moon somewhere in here.
No, that's like a real Pokemon game. No, I only do the one where you take pictures. Apparently there's a new one
out. You can take pictures in this.
Okay, I'm listening. Yeah. But is the whole game
No, the whole game is not pictures.
Exactly.
The whole game is the regular game and then also taking pictures.
I consider myself the Ansel Adams of Pokemon.
You're a real photography first type individual.
Yeah. I'm the Annie Leibovitz.
Oh, you putting babies in cantaloupes and watermelons?
I'm the Mapplethorpe of Pokemon, where I don't know, have them like jerking off in a hot tub full of piss or something.
You're a real Jeffrey Jones.
Well, I don't know if I would describe Jeffrey Jones as a photographer first and foremost.
I mean, he was
I'm sure I know he dabbled. I think he was an actor first and a photographer.
I don't know, Scott. Have you seen any?
Jeffrey Jones's photography trumps his acting?
Have you seen any of his work? The photography is what I'm saying.
No, I know what you mean. I'm just deciding if I should answer it.
Oh, it's incriminating. Don't worry. On the podcast, the statute of limitations is fully up to date.
Okay.
So it's with anything within the last 48 hours you can be incriminated for, but anything outside of that, you're safe.
Okay, then I've seen all of it.
Okay, good. Yeah. And better than his acting?
It's tasteful.
Have you seen Beetlejuice?
I have seen Beetlejuice. I have seen Ferris Bueller.
Okay, he's pretty good.
I have seen Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
The Crucible.
Oh, and how could we forget the Pest?
Pest.
The motherfucking Pest.
When was the last time you saw that movie?
Thursday.
No.
It came out, what? It's
96?
96, sounds right. Let's say 2000, but I probably saw it 10 times between 96 and 2000 because I loved it.
97.
Yeah.
I saw it some more recently than you, probably like 2015.
I'll be the happiest man in the world if you tell me it holds up.
It's bad.
Oh.
It is not good at all. It is so annoying. It is not funny. Oh, it was written by John Leguizamo.
I forgot he did Yellowface in the movie.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he
sure does.
Very funny.
It's got our boy Aries Spears in it.
It does have Aries Spears.
Yeah.
It's got Jeffrey Jones as Gustav Schenk. Freddie Rodriguez as a ninja.
What about Himmel Shank? Named after nobody in particular.
Comes in a tight hour 24.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's
It's
digestible.
really
I'm gonna
bad.
watch it tonight.
All right.
I'm gonna like the way I look. I
I'm
guarantee
sure you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and want to kill yourself.
I'm going to the gay men's warehouse.
Luckily, we're in the right area for that.
Very true.
Good thing we're 30 minutes in and didn't introduce ourselves, but that's
Didn't
okay.
introduce ourselves. Didn't say what this podcast.
No, that's
is
fine.
for.
This is the bonus episode, anyways.
It's
so
a
who
bonus.
cares?
It's loosey goosey. We can do what we want.
This one you don't even have to listen to.
We're kids. We eat what we like.
Uh,
Pussy.
No, gross. Dick. Dick and sweaty balls. That's what I like.
What's that from? What's we eat what we like from? Some sort of candy, some sort of chocolate bar,
I have no idea.
some sort of tamarind with sugar on it.
No.
he's a spicy mango.
Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks.
Is Apple Jacks still a thing?
Gonna say yes.
Yep. But it looks like Fruit Loops now.
Weird.
Straight up looks like Fruit Loops.
Never had them.
I don't think I have either. I'm not a big flavored apple guy.
I've never appled a jack. I've
know?
never jacked an apple.
I've jacked an apple before.
Okay.
I like apples. I just don't like apple flavored things. Pie and crumble and
I mean, that's not really apple flavored. It has apples. I thought you meant like artificial flavoring.
oh yeah, I also don't like apple flavored things. I don't like hot apple. That's the thing. I think.
That's fine.
I think I'm more.
That's reasonable if
it's
you don't
a cold
like hot
fruit
apple.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I very much like an artificial green apple flavoring. I enjoy that.
Some. I liked the Rockstar.
Rockstar, the sour apple.
Sour apple was good.
Jones green
R.I.P.
apple soda. That's
Also
a solid
R.I.P.
one. Also R.I.P.
I think R.I.P.
Damn.
When was the last time you saw it? 25 years ago.
Fair question. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think they're both R.I.P. I mean, I know for a fact the Rockstar Super Sours here
Yes.
are an R.I.P. I don't know about around the continental United States of America.
What about Alaska?
Well, no, Alaska's fair game.
Okay.
Alaska, everything exists in Alaska.
You go to Fairbanks, you're gonna be impressed.
Yeah. Super Sour, Green Apple. I can buy them on Amazon.ca.
Perfect.
I can get a 12-pack for, currently unavailable.
No, I think in the States they rebranded. I think it's Rockstar Revolt Green Apple.
Oh.
Yeah. But we don't have it. Because fuck us.
No, but you can order flats of Rockstar on Amazon, and that's pretty rad.
I'll look into it.
Sorry, what did you say? Revolt?
Yeah.
Sour apple?
No, I think just...
Or just apple?
Apple, yeah. I think it's the same drink. They just rebranded it for some fucking reason.
Because Super Sours was a weird...
It was scaring people.
Tried a Rockstar Revolt Killer Apple this morning.
Killer Apple, that's it.
It's some... I wonder if it's that weird guy who does those energy drink reviews.
I like that guy.
Oh, yeah?
The most low energy guy in the world doing energy drink
drinks,
reviews.
yeah.
It's a good dichotomy.
You can buy it on...
How about a guycotomy, which is two guys that are kind of different.
Oh, you can order Rockstar boozed ones on Amazon in the U.S.
Ooh, hardcore
apple.
That's where you drink one and then watch your daughter get fucked.
Super sour green apple at Rockstar X Durance.
That seems like something that should have existed in 2002.
Sugar and electrolytes. Packaging may vary. Endurance, sour and apple. Yeah.
X-Durance. Get out of here.
There's a kiwi strawberry. There's a cotton candy. There's a blue raz. There's a green apple. Or you can get a variety pack.
I'm guessing they're all 0 cal.
Probably, because everything that sounds cool to us.
Every cool energy drink flavor can't have
0 sugar and gluten-free.
Go to hell.
Go to hell, Rockstar.
Absolutely.
We've had this debate and argument in the past on the podcast, I think. You're drinking a fucking energy drink. You don't need 0 sugar energy drinks.
It's not a health food.
Yeah, it's... Fuck off. So, as I was saying 5 minutes ago when I said it had been 30 minutes...
Oh, yeah.
I'm Drew. That's Scott.
Hey.
This is the bonus episode that doesn't follow the rest of the episodes of the season.
This ain't your daddy's podcast, unless we're your daddies, which we very well might be to a lot of our audience.
I really don't like the term daddy.
You don't even like it when you're the daddy?
Not really. I don't like... I pretend like I'm really cool and chill and hip, but then I hear things and I go...
I'm like, oh, I'm actually grossed out by
that
this.
Makes me pretty grossed out. I am furry adjacent. I am not...
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Drew.
That doesn't help me sleep at night, because I've seen things. I've got PTSD for furry stuff. So I don't like being awode. It creeps me out.
Or having your bulgy-wulgy noticed?
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's too bad.
It's gross to me. So if you did listen to the last bonus ep,
and if you didn't,
bonus epi,
go to hell.
It was us previewing Wrestlemania 37, held from Tampa Bay's Raymond James Stadium.
Ray
J, where they built a pirate ship in front of a pirate ship.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, the one that they had wasn't good enough.
No,
it didn't shoot pyro, so they had to build a new one.
It was a pyro ship.
A pyro ship.
Yeah, it was really putting a hat on a hat.
Yeah, it was pirates who like to commit arson with fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, as you could probably assume, is us reviewing WrestleMania 37.
Did you guess? If you guessed, you win the prize.
Yeah, the prize is you get to sit through another hour 20 of us talking about
That
this.
is correct.
What a great present.
It must be your birthday.
Or it's you're on your deathbed and you want to go out in the most painful manner possible.
I wonder if we have, or if we at least ever will be, the last thing that someone hears.
Yeah, I can think of one person on his deathbed, or like it gets in a massive car. You like in the movie Signs when the wife is pinned against the tree, and it's like, hand me my headphones.
This is their swing away.
Put the headphones in and listen to like episode 8 of season 1, and that's their go to death tones.
I'm excited about that.
Me too. So of course, anyone who's not in the know, this is the first show in WWE's yearly episodics or pay-per-views that was in front of a live crowd.
First in 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day, according to them 1,000 times.
I never heard them say that.
No, you didn't hear that?
No. I guess I was
You should have
zoning
listened
out.
once.
No. I was too busy thinking about how many people in the crowd are passing COVID to other people right now.
A solid super spreader event.
I'm shocked nothing's come out about that yet.
Yeah.
But it is Florida, so there's not a lot of rules in Florida.
Yeah. And Florida does have, even going into the weekend, higher COVID rates than all of Canada combined.
Correct.
So that's pretty cool.
Shout out to noted Florida man Jimmy Starbucks.
Yes. He is the titular Florida man, I believe. He's the one doing all that stuff on Twitter.
Didn't we used to know somebody else who lived in Florida? Was Soy Boy lived in Florida?
We know lots of people who live in Florida.
Well, we're not talking about Hanky Panky, because I hate Hanky Panky.
Okay.
But yeah, and Soy Boy was living there, still lives there. Who knows?
Yeah,
is he
I don't
even
know.
alive?
He like knocked up a child or something, and so he had to move to Florida. Or I can't remember.
With her or to avoid her?
No, I think it was a whole. I don't know. I don't know the details. I feel like I'm talking out of school on this. So I won't continue.
Fair.
A podcast update. We have now turned the fan on. So if it's noticeable, sorry.
If it's noticeable, we won't know until all 3 episodes have been recorded.
That's the thing. I was gonna say, are we gonna do this for everything we're recording today, or
we'll see how hot it is later?
I guess we'll see how hot it is.
We'll do this one, and then if there's no change, then we'll keep it on. And if it's...
I hate how it turned from winter to summer 3 days ago.
Well, yeah, because it poured rain.
Yeah.
On Wednesday last week.
Yeah.
And then by Saturday was bright and sunny.
It's just summer.
And now it's just full on summer.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks.
I have reverse seasonal effect disorder.
Okay.
So when it's nice and sunny out, I'm sad.
You need sundowning?
I need gloom.
Yeah.
I want to be able, and also I can pull the move at around the winter solstice where I can go to bed when it's dark and also get up when it's dark. And completely avoid the sun. But now there's too many hours of daylight. Thanks, daylight savings time. Thanks, Obama. # not my president.
Wasn't George Bush, he extended it, right?
Yeah, which just makes my life worse. It's just more months of the year where they're stealing that hour from us. You want that hour, but you can't have it till fucking November now?
Yeah. Isn't it? But it's just for farmers.
Yeah. And who gives a fuck
about
farmers?
Farmers? I don't care if you're growing our crops and you need that extra hour of daylight. I would like to not be woken up by 18-degree heat and sun.
And it's not even actually an extra hour of daylight. It's just the daylight happening at a different time of day.
Yeah.
It's not like it makes the sun be out longer.
Yeah, and what? You can't get up an hour later?
Yeah, you bitch.
It's...
You farmer bitch.
You big farmer bitch.
All right, WrestleMania 37. What do you think about it? Pretty good? All right, end the show.
Good, done. We recorded 2 minutes of WrestleMania and 48 minutes of not WrestleMania.
Perfect. Exactly as we planned. Exactly as we scripted.
I think as we were going into this, we were like, this WrestleMania could be good. Had potential.
But we were kind of erring on the side of bad.
Well, because every time we think it's going to be good,
that's the thing.
We've
been doing this since WrestleMania 30. This is the 8th one. WrestleMania 30, we predicted bad. It was good.
It was good.
31, we predicted bad. It was good.
Yeah.
And then I think the next 2, we're 32 and no, we couldn't have for 32. We knew 32 would be bad.
Yeah, 32 we knew.
But I think 33, we were like, hey, we've been too hard on WrestleMania in the past. Let's maybe think it's going to be good. And then we were spat in the face of.
They really proved us wrong.
They really shit in our pussy, if you catch my drift.
I guess. Yeah, so this one...
And then after that, we literally just predicted bad every year, and we're always right.
Yeah, it's almost exclusively a bad show.
Yeah.
Run by a bad company,
by a bad
director-producer who has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean...
But we did see some potential this year, despite our pessimism.
Yeah.
And it actually exceeded what we thought. Because I believe
Agreed.
we both predicted 0 4-star matches.
Yes.
And there were
not even close. And there was... It greatly overachieved what we thought it would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, there was some baffling fucking booking on this show.
Baffling booking and also some of the worst women's wrestling I've ever seen in my life.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So, Pop Quiz Hotshot. You're running the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. You haven't run in front of live fans of any significant number in over a year. Due to the law, apparently, you have to main event your show with women. So, you're putting your men's world heavyweight title match on first. The first match that these people get to see in over a year. you have the heel champion defending against the very popular face who last year was robbed of winning his first world title in front of fans. What do you do?
Have him lose clean by submission? Have him literally get choked out by the bad guy? In the middle of the ring?
Could you even believe it when it happened?
Nope. That was very
insane.
Shocking. Very shocking. Of course, the match we're talking about is Bobby Lashley defending the WWE title against Drew McIntyre. It just doesn't, from a booking standpoint, but also just from a company
Common
standpoint,
sense.
It doesn't make any sense. The whole idea was that McIntyre had said, as soon as there are fans allowed in the building, I want to be the first guy through the gate to see people.
Yeah.
Which, that was the whole point of putting this match first.
And it was also the excuse to put it first so they could put women last.
Also, things right out of the gate did not go as well as expected.
Because God stepped in.
Because of McIntyre blowing his entrance.
Yeah, he didn't quite put the sword in the stone, which I didn't even get that. That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do with a sword in the stone situation.
I don't know. I guess that's you claiming your land.
It's dead sword storage from Pulp Fiction. Except the sword is not, it's not an S word; it's a different word.
So yeah, first of all, things did not start out great with them having to delay the show due to inclement weather of a typhoon rain. So what ended up happening was, since as we've noted several times, I moved from the suburban area of Vancouver to the downtown gay core.
To real-ass beachfront gay Vancouver.
Where I am now known as Davy Boy Smith, but spelled D-A-V-I-E.
Because that's the name of the gay street that he lives the 30-second walk from.
Yes. So
the crosswalks are rainbows.
The crosswalks are rainbows. There's rainbow flags on the light poles. There is artwork everywhere. It is a wonderful place.
Open dick sucking in the streets.
It's one of the only places in downtown Vancouver that doesn't actively smell like urine. This is urine. It actively does not smell like piss. So, and I've seen very few
it smells like
crackheads.
Instead.
Which is a much better smell.
Yeah,
more potent.
I love the smell of cum in the morning,
but doesn't make me want to vomit. So I had left a television at my parents' house so that I could record it on the cable box and then watch it there and once we were done. So record Saturday. Yeah. Then go to my house and watch the Saturday, eat, waiting for the Sunday to record, and then as soon as it was recorded, we could start watching the Sunday, the day two. Yeah. So I had only set it to record half an hour after it was over, or 15 minutes after it was over.
No, none. You thought you would put half an hour. Yeah. You just had it on the end time.
I thought I had set it to record late. Yeah. So obviously with the rain delay, we missed out on 48 minutes of the recording.
Yeah. Our main event was the middle of the Bad Bunny match.
Yeah. So we didn't actively get to see the end of the semi-main or any of the main event. We had to watch the main event on our own separately. But equally. And we watched the remainder of the semi-main tag match on Scott's phone.
Yes.
He luckily found somebody who had recorded it and put it up on...
Shout out Dailymotion.
Dailymotion, yeah. So...
Not those cowards at YouTube.
Not only did Wrestlemania start off poorly, but mine and Scott's day that day started out poorly, as Scott had forgotten to bring his...
Because I had anticipated it running over the amount of time that Drew had recorded. So
due to the time limit.
So I downloaded night one, put it on a flash drive, didn't bring it.
Drove to my house.
I did all the things up to bringing it.
Yeah, drove to my house, then drove to a place where we got donuts and coffee, and then thought, shit, I'm going to have to drive all the way home.
Which was far. And then to drive
and
to your
then
parents' place.
to drive all the way back to Coquitlam.
That's a lot of driving. So we said, fuck it.
Well, the idea, what we said was, why don't we just see how much recorded?
Yeah.
And ultimately, neither of us really cares that much if we see all of it right now. We're going to get all of day 2.
Yeah.
And then whatever we miss, we just watch on our own. So we get there. We've got to fast forward through the 48 minutes or whatever. Then we finally get to this match. So just like right there, the fans are probably not in the best mood.
That's the thing. The fans were cold, wet, and miserable. And considering it was the first show with fans, they were pretty dead the whole show.
Yeah, they were. I mean, there was only a very few like raises in the crowd's energy.
There were select big
but
pops.
The majority of it was like a real. Like, you'd expect for the first time, especially for diehard loser WWE fans who spend $100,000 on NFTs of The Undertaker that are literally on YouTube, and you can rip them anytime you want.
Like, on YouTube in 4K. It's the
4K.
same, quality you paid $100,000
You are the biggest fucking loser I've ever met in my life.
That being said, if you're paying $100,000 for an Undertaker NFT, like $100,000 doesn't mean anything.
Absolutely not. No, not even. I mean, I bet you I can guess his ethnicity and how many replica WWE belts he owns.
Yeah.
All of them. All of them. Every single one. And he's Indian.
Even the divas.
Even the divas. Even the Bratz accessory. But yeah, just what an awful way to start off the show.
Yeah.
Like, do you have the... Oh, I guess they're on my messages. So, originally...
Star ratings?
Yeah.
I got them if you need them.
I mean, I got Meltzer's.
I only have Meltzer's,
okay.
so you have more than me.
Well, I sent them to you in a message, so I can just look at the message and I'll be able to tell you.
Did you? I guess you did.
Yeah, I did. I did it as we did the podcast so that I wouldn't have to try and remember it later.
I started scrolling up on our messages, but I landed on the two cats passing their food back and forth,
So
and then I just stopped and started watching that.
The most adorable thing. Okay, so we didn't expect that match to be the main or to be the opener.
No.
So I
wonder in hindsight if the order they were listed on Wikipedia before WrestleMania was actually the correct order. We'll never know because it's been edited, but...
Yep, but we actually didn't have anything... Like, nothing on that was in the right order.
Okay.
So... anyways, so for the McIntyre-Lashley match, we both said Drew. So obviously we were both incorrect.
Fucking obviously.
Well, you'd think that that's the obvious answer, Scott, but guess what? You'd be wrong.
I would.
The obvious answer was Lashley chokes him out clean.
Yeah.
So we were both wrong. You said 2 3/4. Yes. I said 2 1/2.
What did Big Dave give it?
Big Dave gave it 3 3/4.
Damn near 4 stars, you say.
Close to 4 stars. Now,
too high.
Did Dave fall under the spell of the allure of live crowds? Did you think that factored into... Even though the crowd was mostly dead for the show, do you think that he sort of used that as a, well, you know, it's a big moment?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he doesn't think Lashley is as bad as we think Lashley is. I don't think he thinks he's great.
I don't think that, honestly, I don't think that Lashley's bad. I just think that he's very cookie cutter.
He's boring.
He's very just like, by the books, I have 5 spots.
Yeah.
This is the order in which I do them, so this is the order in which they will happen in the match.
My finisher is a full Nelson in 2021.
He's athletic and capable, but he just doesn't do anything outside of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, what is the most memorable Lashley spot?
Classic Lashley spots.
You know?
Where do I even begin? Yeah, I'm already out.
So yeah, it was
fine. They didn't really do anything wrong. It just like wasn't that exciting.
Like I expected it, especially, and I think we said this when we were watching it, is that every other Mania main event for the last 2 years Not all of them, but like at least one, if not both.
The all finishers match
has been like a 4-minute sprint of just hitting all of your big spots.
Yeah.
So going 18 minutes of a guy who's relatively boring and another guy who, I mean, like, I don't really think of McIntyre as a guy who sells. It's not that he's bad at selling, but it's not like his matches are him constantly being, like, you know, beat down by
like
the heel.
working from underneath.
And that's all he did the whole match.
Yeah.
Like, Lashley kind of just beat his ass.
Yeah, that's what Lashley does.
And then
like Lashley doesn't sell, period.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, he hit some hope spots, but, like, it was kind of just Lashley kicking his ass for 18 minutes.
Yeah, and then at the end, McIntyre's got the advantage, is going to set up for his finisher. MVP from the floor says, "Hey," and Drew looks.
Hey, buddy.
Drew looks over, goes, "Huh?"
What?
And then regains his focus, goes for his kick, misses or whatever,
or whatever.
I don't know. Lashley puts him in a goddamn full Nelson and fucking beats him
and
clean.
just beats him clean.
Yeah, I couldn't. I honestly couldn't. I was
and
absolutely baffled.
And it kind of felt so. Like, McIntyre wasn't even fighting it. Like, he got him in it, he got him down to his knees, and then they just, like, collapsed to the ground, and they were like, all right, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, done.
I think McIntyre got sleepy.
Yeah, he got real tired.
Yeah, maybe he was booked to win and he got sleepy. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah, it was a real nap time situation. So, do you... What are you going to stick with your 2 3/4?
I'll give it 3 even.
Okay.
I think.
I'm going to... Honestly, I'm going to stick with my 2.5.
That's fair.
I think it was super underwhelming and literally did nothing for me.
Now you've made me rethink my 3. Maybe 3's too nice. Because 3 is solid. Man, I mean, I guess it was... I feel like it loses points for the finish, though. I'll go back to the 2 3/4. I don't want to give him the dignity of 3.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice.
If there's any time I can take away dignity from a black man, I'll do it.
And this is the biggest black man around.
That's true.
I think it's nice to predict something and then, like, you know, not over predict it, not under predict it. You're like, it's exactly what I thought it would be.
I figured this
just
out.
with the wrong winner.
Yes.
And now they're just doing a rematch at WrestleMania's Backlash.
Do not get me started on WrestleMania Backlash. Okay, on paper it's stupid, obviously.
Yeah.
But it'll be very funny, and I would actually love them if they did that for the rest of the year. Like, in August is WrestleMania SummerSlam.
Yeah.
WrestleMania Survivor Series. WrestleMania Great Balls of Fire in July, of course. Of course.
Yeah. That'd
be very funny. They're literally just trying to trick the stupidest members of their audience into thinking it's WrestleMania.
Yeah, that is true. That would be like, hey guys, did you see that WrestleMania's on this weekend?
Yeah.
They're like,
hey, wasn't it last
cool.
month? Oh, I don't know. My brain doesn't work. I think it's WrestleMania again.
Oh, good. Let's watch it. And then you watch it, you're like, what the fuck's this? Here's genuinely what I think is going to happen is I think for whatever reason, because they're stupid like this.
If Drew wins the title next pay-per-view, I'll lose my mind.
I'm predicting this right now, that McIntyre steamrolls him.
I
think he 100% steamrolls him because it's like he was so angry that he couldn't do it for the fans at Mania that he's going to run through Lashley and win the title.
That's so stupid.
I think that's how they
I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying it's so
that's
stupid.
That's how they book dumb shit.
P.S. Another stupid thing. If
women's wrestlers.
Obviously. If Lashley was going to win at Mania, why did Drew not just keep the title to Mania and do a title change?
Couldn't tell you.
Instead of Drew losing to The Miz,
couldn't tell you.
Who kept it for a week and lost to Lashley.
Couldn't tell you. I really don't know why you needed to go heel Miz to heel Lashley to have heel retain.
Yeah,
none of it makes sense.
If it is your idea, if it is your stupid idea to have the heel win at Mania, why not just do a title change?
You are putting too much thought into this.
Apparently,
you think highly of Vince McMahon's booking ideas.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he is retarded.
All right, are we talking about bitches? Let's talk about bitches.
He is mentally handicapped, sir. Yeah, I was just trying to kind of get myself ahead on the typing up. So yeah, the women's tag team title turmoil #1 contendership match. I don't know that I've had more fun hating wrestling than I did watching this match.
It was pretty fun. It was definitely pretty fun. It was an atrocity.
It is April, and I'm going to spoiler alert for anyone listening.
Ooh.
The 2021 year-end awards, worst wrestler of the year. Was in this match.
My worst wrestler is locked.
Yeah,
locked and loaded.
There's not even an argument.
No, Billy Kay is the worst wrestler in the world.
Billy Kay actively has no understanding of coordination.
No.
Of how to use her body.
No.
How to like run ropes or
where to be in the ring at a certain
do
time.
a move. None of what she does in the ring is actively professional wrestling.
How to perhaps not sell a kick that someone decided not to do halfway through it.
That was so good.
The Lana pulled kick on Billy Kay, which Billy Kay then sold, was my favorite moment of WrestleMania.
Also, like, why did Lana not throw it?
I don't know.
There's no reason for her to have not thrown the kick. It blows my goddamn mind. So we only did the review as a single match. I mean, I guess we in theory could have done, but we didn't know the matchups. So
we didn't. When we didn't even know the teams.
We knew 4 of the teams, right?
Not necessarily. We knew there was a match.
We didn't know Riot Squad was in.
Yeah,
and we didn't know Billy Kay and Carmella was in. The only ones we knew were Lana and Naomi and Dana, Mandy, and Natalya.
But those were all just logical assumptions.
Yeah.
They weren't even announced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all we knew. Like, the rest of it, we didn't know. So, yeah. So, originally, you had given it 3/4 of a star. And I had given it 1.5 stars.
Y'all keeping that 1.5?
I don't know why I gave it 1.5 stars, because one wrestler in the match is good, or two. So I was like, all right, those two are capable of having 3/4 of a star each.
Apparently.
So I did ratings for each thing individually.
So then you're gonna average them.
So I can average them. So
what do you got?
Well, that's what Meltzer did. So for Billy Kay and Carmella versus Lana and Naomi, he gave it 3.25. I gave it 0.
Sorry, not 3.25.
Oh, sorry, 3/4.
3/4
of a star. I gave it 0.
Okay.
Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott against Billy Kay and Carmella, he gave it half a star. I gave it 0.
So far, so good. Now, was it the end of the second match or the end of the third match where the Riot Squad won?
This match.
The
second pair up. Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott again. No, sorry, it's the third one. It's the third one.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get that.
Yeah. So, Liv and Ruby Riott defeat Billy Kay and Carmella. He gave it half a star. I gave it 0. Then Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott against Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. He gave it 1/4. I gave it a half. And then Natalya and Tamina over Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. He gave it 3/4. I also gave it a half.
So 2 zeros, 2 halves?
2 zeros, 2 halves.
I believe you average out to 1/4, my friend.
So I am giving it 1/4.
What does Meltzer average out to? 3/4, a half. So we're at 1.25. Then another 1.25 is 2.5. And then 1 3/4 is 4.25. So Meltz would average out to 1 1/16 by my math.
That's
right.
Rad.
I hope it's right. Someone confirm or don't. It doesn't matter. But yeah. So the end of that Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose versus Riot Squad. I think one of the two completely interchangeable blondes was
It was Mandy, I think,
was pinning Ruby?
Yeah.
and then and either the ref didn't see it or there was a 2 count and there was a kick out, and then Liv did something from the floor to help, and then Ruby clearly pinned Mandy.
Yeah.
And so the Riot Squad won, and the ring announcer proceeded to very confidently say, the winners of the match, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, the Riot Squad is eliminated. And then there's a brief awkward pause while the commentators were confused, the crowd was confused, and then he said, correction! The Riot Squad have won the match. I'm like, it's your only job.
Scott, this is right along the lines of, you're a fucking ref.
Yeah.
You literally only have to do one thing.
Yeah.
You have to look at the piece of paper in front of you that is predetermined and read off the paperwork.
And if you want to be like super professional, like cross-check it with what's actually happening in the match that you're sitting there watching.
Sure.
And literally just waiting to announce the winner.
Or look at the referee raise the arm of Ruby Riott, perhaps.
Maybe learn the wrestlers' names.
You know, who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm not capable of being a referee or a ring announcer. That I can only be a wrestler.
Yeah. The easiest job. Not those tough ones. Not those tough tangential jobs.
Yeah, not the hard ones where you have to put your body on the line.
Not the tough ones where you can learn to do it in one day.
And then be on national television after a year of doing a only okay job. But you know what? I'm not calling out anyone specifically. No. So every person who referees definitely deserves to be a referee, and also it has cool hand gestures.
Yeah, agree. Completely.
Yeah. So we go from the worst.
I guess I got to give that a.
Oh yeah, you have to. Yeah,
rating.
you have to give it a rating.
It's not 1. I'll tell you that much.
Is it as low as my?
I'm just
1 quarter?
Yeah, I'm wondering if. You know what? Them girls tried their best, given a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good for you that you...
I feel like Natalya might have done half a star's worth of something.
Sure, Natalya was...
No, you know what? No. Shut up.
Oh.
Shut up, I'm talking. Actually, no, I wasn't even thinking that, but yes, I'm number 1, thank you for reminding me. Tamina has been a bad influence on Natty, and Natty's not a kitty cat anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to subtract 1 quarter for that.
Okay.
I'm also going to subtract 1 quarter for the finish of the last fall, where Natalya had let's say Liv Morgan.
Sure.
Down, set up for the sharpshooter. She then does this big long pause, looks around, doesn't do the sharpshooter, goes and tags Tamina, who then takes half an hour to get to the top rope.
Yeah.
Do a bad splash.
Gee, I wonder why. Is it because she's old and overweight?
It could be both of those things. Man, I'm sure glad I'm not either of those.
Nope. You're a little bitty baby, and you're a twink. Newly minted twink.
Yeah. So, and I did not understand that finish at all.
Yeah, I
so
have
weird.
No idea.
Yeah, so you know what? Dud, go to hell.
Oh!
Yeah.
You really do not like women, Scott.
I mean, I was at a half. I was perfectly willing to give half a star, and then I remembered 2 very key points, each worth exactly a quarter star, as per my rubric.
Can't argue with that.
My Stanley rubric.
Stanley rubric. Next up, we've got so we go from the worst match on the show, on the day, not the worst match of the weekend.
No.
To the tied for the best on the whole weekend.
Definitely up there.
So that would be Don't Call Him Antonio Cesaro,
Big Tony,
and Seth Rollins. Originally, you gave it 3 3/4. I lowballed it at 3. I don't know why.
Wow, 3. Well, I understand.
I guess because I don't like getting my hopes up for things that might be good. Namely, anything AJ Styles has done at WrestleMania. Or, like, any Styles Nakamura WWE match. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up because both workers are competent.
But also, leading up to this, Rollins had a series of 3-star at best matches with Nakamura.
Yeah.
So it's not like the world was being set on fire.
True. We weren't exactly working off of good things.
Yeah.
So, I just definitely lowballed it. Meltzer gave it a 4.
Yeah.
It was great.
Loved it.
It really honestly showcased that they maybe have faith in Cesaro.
Well, yeah, which is shocking. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because I remember after he won the first Andre Battle Royal, they're like, oh, they're doing something with Cesaro.
This is his chance.
Oh, they're not.
Oh, he's back to a tag team.
Anyway, you slice it, singles win over a former world champion at Mania. So that's something.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's something.
You know, and the entire storyline was how he had never had a singles match at Mania.
Yeah.
And Rollins,
even though he had a singles match at last year's Mania.
Yeah, but no one counts.
But it was pre-show.
No one counts pandemic Manias.
Yeah. It was funny that they tried to get away with that, though. Like,
yeah,
it's not like he had a singles match on the 2014 pre-show or something. Mm-hmm. It was the most recent WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's not like it was when he was just freshly into a singles career, or when Tyson Kidd broke his neck, and then they were like, all right, well, now you gotta do something. Yeah, it was literally 12 months ago. Yeah. I happily will change my rating from the lowball 3 that I gave it.
Yeah.
To, I mean, much higher. It was, the thing is, it wasn't super long.
That's the thing.
Which is fine though.
Yeah.
Because it let Cesaro do what he does.
Yeah.
It let him do a bunch of fast-paced offense, and it, like, Rollins was kind of a little bitch for part of it, which is exactly in his wheelhouse.
Both personally and professionally.
Both. He's number 1 at Twitter.
Yep.
I think it did exactly what it did. I mean, obviously, you can't give it a super high rating.
Yeah. Like, if they had another 5 minutes and went just as hard for those 5 minutes, then we're talking like 4 3/4 level. But like, it went 11:35. Which is not that long, but you can still do some really good stuff in 11:35. I think I'm pretty happy to give it 4 1/4.
Yeah, I was thinking 4 1/4. I think it's the second best, tied for second best match of the weekend.
Oh yeah, it's way up there.
Yeah, so
it was great. Like, we were so psyched. Like, pretty much from the get, because they started hot.
They did start hot. You know what? They watched In Your House 6,
where
so they knew.
Hot starts as far as the eye could see.
They got it.
Yeah, they like a ton of cool stuff. That like the tilt-a-whirl, like right in, like reverse tilt-a-whirl right into the neutralizer.
Are you kidding me? The 2 neutralizer setups that he did
good.
Were incredible.
Yeah,
and like that's something that you can honestly really only do with like Rollins and Danielson, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know that a 2021 AJ Styles or Rey Mysterio could do that.
No.
Like, that is down to just, like, a really
a
solid worker, you know?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really, really solid. So, next, it was the Raw Tag Team title match, which was the New Day defending against AJ Styles and Scott. Pronounce his name for me.
Amos?
Osmos.
Famous. Ozma from of L. Frank Baum creations.
What?
in the like Wizard of Oz series, there's a Princess Ozma, I think. I think she shows up in world's scariest movie, Return to Oz, starring Fairuza Balk.
Fairuza Balk. She is gross, except for when she's a kitty. Even then, she's still kind of gross, but at least she's a kitty.
Yeah, at least she's got something going for her.
Omas?
I think Omos.
Amos? I don't know. Who knows?
Hamas?
They must have called him, I think over the course of the day, they called him 3 different things.
Yeah. I think it's pronounced like it's spelled Omoss. I think it's Omos.
Yeah, I think so too. So during...
So if you thought Lashley and McIntyre was going to be the weirdest booked match on this show, fucking hold my beer, because here comes this sucker.
Yeah, this one was weird. This was definitely a... We know who the faces are, but they're not going to act like faces the entire match.
No, these two faces are going to double team this one heel like a couple of fucking dicks. And the heel will fight back valiantly
He will overcome all odds.
All odds at varying points, eventually making the hot tag to his giant friend, who then murders the two of them and pins them with one foot.
With one foot.
Two cheers.
Yeah, in all honesty, it was the perfect way to book Omos.
Sure.
Because the guy's had 4 matches
in his life.
And it's not like you really want him in there getting exposed, even though Kofi and Woods are both 2 of the like most serviceable workers.
For sure.
But you definitely don't want him in there too long, trying to do too much, especially when your partner is one of the best wrestlers of the last 20 years.
But is bad at WrestleMania.
It's bad at WrestleMania. And given the fact that he's been given good opportunities at WrestleMania, and he's just, for whatever reason, can't perform.
This is his sixth WrestleMania.
Yeah.
His best match is still versus Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon, who...
Think about that for a minute. And 2 of the other people have been Chris Jericho and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. But
couldn't pull it off.
As we've noted, Nakamura has been a nothing. So,
Nakamura doesn't have a fuck.
Yeah, Nakamura is just there for the paycheck.
Yeah.
And to surf.
Yeah.
Cool dude. I'm very glad that this overachieved. I'm glad that I wasn't disappointed by it.
Yeah.
But I guess giving it 3 stars, it would have had to be like completely unwatchable to be less than 3 stars. But yeah, I mean, Cesaro, world's strongest man, and they did a lot of really cool stuff. So
wait, we're back to Cesaro?
Oh, sorry.
What happened?
Omos doing big guy stuff.
Yeah.
And like just hucking and chucking, and
hucking and chucking, fucking and sucking.
But yeah, it was. I'm glad that it wasn't bad.
No, it was entertaining. It was just like insanely booked.
Yeah, so you gave it 2 1/4. I gave it 2 3/4.
Yeah.
Meltzer agreed with you and gave it 2 1/4.
2 1/4.
I don't know that it was that bad.
Yeah,
like it wasn't unwatchable. Like I think we enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like AJ kind of did nothing.
Yeah.
Like he just sold a bunch.
Yeah, I don't want to go 3. I'm willing to go 2.5 to 2 3/4. I'll go 2 3/4. It was. I honestly probably liked it more than Lashley McIntyre, which I gave 2 3/4. So I might as well give it that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my 2 3/4 rating. It could have been way worse. It could have just been, a big guy beating up 2 small dudes, but the guy can't actually work.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they were like, okay, let's let them do a bunch of fun stuff with AJ, and then get their asses handed to them. I can't even imagine what an AJ Styles Omos title defense would look like.
I don't know what they do.
I assume it's a rematch at Backlash.
I'm pretty sure Backlash is going to be nothing but Mania rematches.
Yeah.
Just so they don't have to think about booking something new for another month and a half.
Yeah. And then you just reset after that for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna turn them face though, because like people want AJ is an entertaining wrestler, and people want to cheer for that giant.
That giant man, yeah, and AJ's like great on the microphone.
Yeah.
So like they can even just be cocky heels that get face pops.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I had asked, is this because if you think about debut matches winning titles. Like, I could think of some. I could think of Santino winning the IC, Paige winning the Divas. But I had asked, was this the first time somebody had won the tag titles in their debut?
Nope.
It was not. That would be Ted DiBiase Jr. when he was, when Cody turned heel on Bob Holly. Which, let's remember, Cody Rhodes and Hardcore Holly were tag team champions.
Were they? They had the titles.
Yeah, and then they lost it to Ted and a mystery partner, and the mystery partner was Cody turning heel on Bob.
That's right.
And then that sort of just ended Bob Holly. Like, he wasn't really around and didn't really do anything after that.
But this also wasn't even the first time someone debuted and won the tag titles at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but we're not counting that.
Because how quickly we forget Nicholas.
I forget Nicholas all the time because he's trash. Anyway, sorry, we totally skipped ahead. Or skipped the thing of, we both predicted Cesaro to win.
Oh, we didn't do wins.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we both predicted Cesaro to win, and we both predicted AJ and Omos to win, so...
Yes.
And then for the women's gauntlet, it was kind of hard to predict. We both
guessed Lana Naomi.
We both guessed Lana Naomi, which we obviously got wrong, because it was Natalya and Tamina.
Yeah.
Anyways, now on to maybe also a match that we thought was going to be the worst. I
will say it was better than our wildly low expectations.
It was much better than it ended up being. So that would be Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon, inside of a steel cage, where you predicted a dud, sir.
That's correct.
I predicted a -1, sir.
Oh.
Meltzer gave it 1.5. Look, it was exactly what you thought it would be. It was Shane getting blown up and being bad.
Yeah.
Strowman getting blown up and being bad. There was Elias and Riker interference. Mm-hmm. They did a very cool...
Did they do Elias versus Baron Corbin at Mania last year?
They did.
That's too bad.
As babyface Elias.
That's too bad.
Anyway. They did a very cool Shane on the outside of the cage climbing down, but then ruined it by having him put his hand through the cage and wave goodbye, which then Braun knuckle locked him so he couldn't leave. But I thought pulling the cage open and dragging him back in was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a good spot.
And then Shane taking the scariest fucking bump off the top of the cage, which was terrifying, especially for a man who's
51.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
And the landing and just like Shane, there's no way Shane lives to be 60. His brains are going to go to mush. He's going to murder his kids and wife and then kill himself, and then we're going to think that it was Kevin Sullivan. He's the next Benoit. There's no way he lives to 60.
You might be right.
Yeah.
So as for what to actually rate Strowman and Shane, yeah, so what we both said. Oh, I said 0. You said -1.
You said dud.
Yeah,
I said -1. Meltzer gave it 1.5.
Yeah, I mean they're both bad wrestlers.
It was more entertaining than it was more entertaining than I thought it would be. Considering I'm gonna walk all the way away.
Yeah, I'm okay with going. I'll go over 1. I'll go 1.25. I suppose you can give it 4.5. I don't care. That's fine.
The thing is,
it's a free country.
It wasn't a wrestling match. It was a gimmicky cage match.
It was a thing,
right? And gimmicky cage matches are usually pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought the bump was hella scary. I definitely didn't think he was going to be able to get up afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm willing to go as high as 1.75.
There you go. That's fair.
I think for me that's a reasonable number.
Yeah.
And sorry, you said 1.25. So, I guess we secretly like Braun versus Shane because we both gave it higher than Meltzer. So
I didn't give it higher than Meltzer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I thought Meltzer.
And winners, did we both have Braun?
We both had.
I actually don't remember.
We both had Braun.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, almost everything was the same as far as picks. So, it's really going to come down to the two that we had different, I think.
Yeah.
Which are both on the day 2. So.
Yeah, which I think you've got me on.
Possibly, because I know how to read WWE booking.
Yeah.
The next match is the semi-main event, but ended up being our main event. Of
except the end of it, which we didn't see. I had to watch on my phone.
Yeah. So that, of course, would be noted non-wrestler who's a little itty-bitty baby.
Yeah.
Who is like, what, 5'6"?
5'6", 125 pounds.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison. We both predicted a dud.
Yes.
Meltzer gave it 3.5 stars.
I mean, two interesting things. One, this was booked exactly like AJ and Omos against the New Day.
Yeah.
But not with the people in the positions you would think. I did not expect Bad Bunny to be AJ, who worked the entire match.
Yep.
Working for the hot tag Damian Priest.
Damian Priest did almost nothing until the final, 3 minutes of the match.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, he surprisingly got in some offense.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good celebrity debut.
I think other than...
He did well.
I'm trying to think, other than maybe a professional athlete...
Yeah.
It might be one of the best actual in-ring debuts ever.
Probably, honestly.
I remember, even though the match is shit, I remember Maria Menounos being pretty good.
She was okay. Yeah.
I remember her being pretty good.
Yep.
But as far as, wrestling... Because, Stephen Amell...
Yeah.
Was fine in his first match, but then pretty good in his second match.
Yeah.
But they were 2 years apart. But
something like that.
Other than that, every other person that gets involved is usually shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
LT, for one.
Yeah.
LT was dog shit. The only good one was, remember when D'Angelo Williams wrestled in Impact?
Wrestled one match
and he did a
Impact,
fucking 450 splash.
And was great.
Yeah. And then never wrestled again. And
Yeah.
also never played football again.
Yeah.
So, why wouldn't you just keep wrestling?
Yeah,
him?
what do you want to do?
You're good. He's no Adam Pac-Man Jones, but...
Black Man Jones.
He is a black man, and his last name is Jones, so you nailed it, Scott.
To win and lose the tag team titles without ever stepping in the ring.
Because he physically wasn't allowed to be in the ring.
Correct.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I guess, does that mean that Ron Killings is the best professional wrestler of all time? Because he won the tag titles by himself?
Yeah. He was his own tag team.
Yeah. But he didn't lose, but Pac-Man didn't lose it.
No.
They had to give him a new partner, which was Consequences Creed.
Ah. That's right.
Noted Xavier Woods. So it was better than I thought.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Miz and Morrison kind of suck. I'm really over. I'm not even impressed by Morrison's shtick anymore.
How about his hair?
His hair, that's a talking point. He had 80s woman hair.
Yeah. 80s woman rocker
hair, permed up but slicked back on the sides.
It was crazy,
and it just looked horrible.
It's amazing.
Why anyone thought that was a good idea?
I like the discount bunny suits where all of the ears fell off.
Yeah.
What were those, $5 a piece?
They were a Chinese buy on Amazon.
No, those were an AliExpress buy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not Amazon quality.
Those were a real Hugs rabbit. I'm really just not impressed by more. He's done the same thing for so many years that even though he's athletic and in good shape, seeing him do everything in Lucha Underground, see him do everything in Impact and Mexico and stuff.
Yeah, but it is funny that he left and became basically a main eventer. Yeah. And then came back and they're like, "No, you're just with Miz again."
Here's the thing you wanted to leave. Yeah, you're back at it
forever.
Yeah, for him, it's honestly, he doesn't even try to do anything new or impressive anymore.
Yeah,
and the Miz,
but both of them were they did a good job with Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I think those are two good guys to put somebody against because it's not like either one of them is going to. It doesn't matter who their opponent is. It's not like either one of them is going to try to do anything cool or good.
Yeah.
They're going to do their basic standard shtick, and you can do that with literally anyone. Yeah. it sucks for Priest because Priest is definitely better than that.
Uh-huh.
And like, how crazy is it to think that it's 2021 and we're like, Punishment Martinez deserves better.
I love Punishment Martinez. Well, he does deserve better, and the next night on Raw, he definitely got better.
Yeah,
where
they let him do his thing.
Where he lost to Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
To I believe the reasoning was to get Miz his heat back because the new season of Miz and Mrs.
of course
was premiering that night.
Of course,
so you couldn't lose going into
the new
crazy.
The new season of Miz and Mrs. where he's a babyface.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very likable.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I think 3.5 stars is very high.
3.5's high. I'm not.
But it's not a dud.
No, it's way higher than dud. It's like it's pushing 3.
Yeah. I don't know that it is a 3.
I don't want to. I think the reason it's pushing 3 is because Bad Bunny has not wrestled before. If it was the same match with just a seasoned wrestler in his spot,
right?
Then it's less impressive.
Yeah.
So
it's a boring wrestling match. But because somebody you didn't think could even do spots.
With a pretty surprising Canadian Destroyer on the floor.
Yeah.
Which was very funny.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with 2 3/4.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Yeah, I've done a lot of 2 3/4, and I
do not wish to change that.
I was gonna say, and I will again. I almost want to give it the 3.
Because you're such a big Bad Bunny fan.
Drew, he's my favorite musician.
What type of music is it, Scott?
I mean,
okay, name another song he does.
Gotcha.
I guess you are a big fan. You know all of his hits.
Can you imagine how much his career and the careers of every single other person in that genre are going to explode when they discover a second beat?
No.
Could you even imagine?
Their brains are going to implode. Yeah.
It's just going to be like opening the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
The second beat.
Keep your eyes closed.
Yeah, I'm giving him 3.
All right.
I love his wrestling. I love his music.
All right. Other than Booker T, I don't think I've heard any of his songs.
Drew, I've got. Oh no, I was gonna say something that's wrong. I thought Booker T was a Wale song, but it's not. It's a Bad Bunny song.
It's his song. Yeah. That's how he got involved because he performed it at the Rumble.
At the Rumble. Yeah, and almost killed himself doing a dive, but he didn't this one. See, he got better.
He got better.
He did a good dive.
Turned me into a newt. I got better.
I got better.
So that leads us to our non-together actual main event viewing. The Smackdown Women's Title match.
Oh, winners. We had the correct one.
Oh, sorry.
The baby faces.
I think
I'm sure we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We both picked Bad Bunny. So we're doing okay so far.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, the women's match, which was the champion Sasha Banks against the challenger Bianca Belair. Like we said, we had to go home and watch it on our own.
Yep. And upon watching it, what did I say to you? That is one of the greatest compliments I have ever given a women's match. I was like, Drew,
it's damn near 5.
No. Well, it's damn near something. Drew, I'm like, I swear to God, it's almost like 2 men wrestling.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God. It's like watching 2 men who know how to wrestle. It's crazy.
It's pretty.
It's gonna blow your mind.
You originally gave it or predicted 3.5. I predicted 3 3/4. David Meltzer gave it a 4. I think Dave lowballed it.
Yeah, it's 4 minimum.
I think it's over 4 easily.
Yeah.
I think it
did such a great job of highlighting Bianca.
Yeah, really just showing her
such a great job
as a star. Like, she is so goddamn strong.
So strong.
She is so athletic.
Yeah, not that Sasha's heavy, but still.
Yeah. I mean, Sasha's weighs nothing.
Yeah.
But she is so athletic. She is so strong.
Yeah.
She's got incredibly good in-ring instincts.
Yeah.
For somebody who's been wrestling for, I don't know, how long is she? been wrestling for?
2 months?
4 years.
It's pretty good.
For somebody to be 4 years in and being that good at her in-ring like presence and knowing where to go, she's incredible. And also Sasha's like low key the best woman they have.
Yeah, Sasha's great.
Yeah, Sasha's always been great.
Yeah. Especially when she's a heel, because she's a bitch. Just let her be a bitch.
Yeah, I don't understand this trying to make her.
When she's booked as a face, she's still a bitch. Just let her be a heel. She's a lot better at it. So they finally did. Thank God.
Interesting question.
Hit me.
Is Bianca Belair now the best WWE trained person?
Oh, honestly, probably.
She's a product of developmental, so.
Like, what are the options? Her and Roman Reigns?
Her, Roman Reigns.
Mojo Rawley.
Rhea Ripley.
Tucker.
Yeah.
Is Rhea Ripley... She's not all the way. She did stuff.
Did she?
In Oceania.
Yeah. Does any of that count?
Maybe.
Maybe. 7 years experience. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, she's not a full trainer.
I'm
sure they obviously, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they re-taught her how to work.
Of course, because you don't know how wrestling works.
Because you're stupid.
So she started in WWE in 2017, and she started wrestling in 2013. So she was about 4 years in, but had never done anything outside of Australia.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I can't think of anybody else who's... Because, as we've said many times, Baron Corbin, Elias.
All the hits.
Recently released Wesley Blake.
Or almost as recently released Steve Cutler.
No, I think Cutler was somebody.
He did stuff?
I think he was like a low-level indie guy when they signed him. But, yeah, I think Belair hands down runs away with best developmental talent. I mean, Roman's fine.
Yep.
But Belair's leaps and bounds above him. Mike, mainly because her butt's higher, and that's not fair.
It's not fair. But, but the catch the dive, roll through into follow slam, the gorilla press, walk up the
stairs,
goddamn stairs,
and throw over the top rope.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Yes, Sasha weighs nothing, but it's still the coordination to do all of that in smooth movement
and balance
and walk up the stairs is crazy. But yeah, it's the same thing though where they call somebody up and you're like, okay, there is literally no way you can fuck this up, and then they fuck it up. Yeah. So I hope that this is we genuinely have an African American star that we can push as a babyface. Let's not fuck this up. And then they'll be like, all right, you're losing the title to Carmella.
Yep.
Then you're going to be in a tag team with somebody.
We're going to bring Billy Kay back.
Nobody.
Billy Kay's back.
Yeah, there's still a chance they can do that, but...
Oh, they can always do that.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And then they'll just, bring back... I don't know. I guess they don't really bring back women, but I heard the Bellas want to be back. So
yes.
Maybe she'll lose it to Nikki Bella.
Yeah. I guess now's as good a time to mention it as any. Why wasn't Bayley on the show?
Oh, my God. Let's not talk about Bayley. This actively made me hate Bayley.
It was horrible.
I know she was being a goofball on purpose,
but it seemed
it was so unlikable, even in a funny way.
Yeah, but the assumption was including tweets by Becky Lynch and stuff, was that Becky Lynch was going to come out on day 2 and kick her ass. Instead, the Bellas did, and then everyone's because Becky was in Tampa.
Yeah,
and then I guess they're going to do it on Raw as a Raw after WrestleMania thing. Nope. No Becky.
Nothing.
So what the fuck?
I don't know. Also, they didn't tell the Bellas that it was happening until 30 minutes before they went out there.
Weird.
Yeah. So they weren't even prepared.
So there wasn't even a long-term plan.
And that's why I had said that they both looked chubby.
Yes.
Because they didn't know they were going to be doing something.
Yeah.
So they didn't work hard to lose baby weight.
Yeah.
Right? It's a real we don't know what we're doing until the last minute situation.
How about the Fella twins? They're a couple of guys.
How about the Fella twins and they're a couple of trans Sheamuses?
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. I think that
Flat cap, suspenders, tits.
but no shirt. The suspenders cover the nipples, and that's it.
Oh,
My favorite look. My favorite look.
Do any women do that? Suspenders covering their nipples?
Absolutely, women do that.
I want to see it.
As a mostly heterosexual man who knows women, they do it. They do it. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is the best match of the weekend, right?
It's certainly one of them.
It's
like there's a top 3, and this is definitely one of them. Maybe number 1. I sort of want to give it the same as Cesaro Rollins, which is 4.25. You can make a case for 4.5. Meltzer gave it 4 even.
I'm doing 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it didn't go super long. Like, it went 17, which is the right amount of time.
The length was very good.
The match was crisp. There was like nothing really sloppy or botchy.
Good build to the hair whip, which was the loudest thing in the world, and it was great.
Also, she doesn't really do it all the time anymore, so it's like a big spot.
She does one good one.
Yeah, it's a big spot now, so... Yeah, I'm gonna go with 4.5. I think it's the best match on the weekend.
Yeah, it's...
Spoiler alert.
Potentially 4.5 for sure. I was sticking with the quarter.
Fair. So now that we've gotten through day 1, what day is it, Scott?
Fiend Day!
It is
Fiend Day, baby!
And you know what? They did not make us wait.
Nope.
They got right on to Fiend Day.
Starting off hot.
Well,
it was almost disappointing because I'm like, oh, Fiend Day's going to be over so fast.
I want the build to Fiend Day.
It's all about the anticipation.
It's all about edging towards Fiend Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
slouching towards Fiend Day.
Very, very slowly slouching. So there was a very minimal rain delay, or did they get right to it this time?
I don't think there was a delay.
There was talk there was going to be a massive like thunderstorm that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So they started out hot and heavy with Randy Orton and The Fiend. So Alexa comes out to the Firefly Funhouse music, and then as she gets to the ring, there's a Jack in the Box, like massive, huge built one.
What? How would you describe?
It's like a box-like structure.
I'm very glad you knew where I was going with that. Byron Saxton unironically described it as a box-like structure, which I can only assume is a symptom of being in the WWE system for so long that you're just used to speaking like an absolute fucking retard.
Well, and I think it's
calling
also
hospitals local medical facilities and like this weird corporate speak that no human being actually ever talks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like, you know, having Vince in theory in your ear, or also like knowing that if you say anything wrong, you're gonna get your asshole ripped open. So you're like, okay,
don't give away that it's a box.
Yeah, I just have to say what they want me to say.
Keep it vague.
You know? So I think it's just a matter of but no, I'm not even going to try and defend it. What I'm going to say is, like, you clearly built it as a Jack in the Box, so that the Fiend can come out of it like a Jack in the Box.
Correct.
So why don't you just call it a Jack in the Box?
Because
it's not like you do. You think that Byron Saxton and also every person watching doesn't know what a crank on the side of a box looks like?
What it is?
Yeah, it's not like you're hiding anything.
It wasn't a secret. It wasn't a surprise.
It's so mind blowing that they're like, yeah, no, we gotta just call it a box. We don't want anybody to figure out what it is, so that it's a surprise when he pops
tip our
out.
hands.
You know, the one thing that I saw online that I guess maybe I wasn't really paying attention to was that Alexa Bliss is playing like a 13-year-old or a 10-year-old.
I think she's getting younger. She's
getting younger.
Yeah, she's gonna be a baby in a couple of weeks.
That as soon as she came down and was doing like the big box thing, that the cameraman got really low to look up her skirt.
Real low angle.
Because everyone's a pedophile, so... That's
I
not
think
a
that shot was for the Japanese market.
Ah, yes, of course, that they were trying to get into for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what a I didn't really pay attention to it, but like what a creepy fucking thing.
Yeah,
like,
that shot was for NXT Japan.
You mean Noah?
I mean Noah. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, the match, like it almost felt like they weren't willing to. Well, I mean, first of all, Brian Alvarez nailed it on the head of saying that one man literally lit another man on fire in an attempt to murder him.
That's right.
And now they're going to have a professional wrestling match.
That's right.
Now, like
you follow the Inferno match and the 4 months off.
Yeah.
With a singles professional wrestling match.
I understand you have the live audience, so you want to utilize the fact that there's people in the building.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this wasn't a cinematic match.
True.
Right? Like, I mean, obviously you have to show it on the Trons and stuff,
Yeah.
so it's not, you don't get the atmosphere of the fans. But like, this is 100% a cinematic match.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done so much more.
And also, the Fiend cinematic match was so good last year. Why wouldn't you do it again?
And you can go from Cena to Orton. It's true. It's the natural progression. But it just doesn't make any sense to me why you would have a wrestling match with a giant box next to it.
That's right.
That you can throw your opponent into and it's not a DQ.
Yep.
But it was so underwhelming.
It was 5 minutes long.
It was 5 minutes long.
It was Randy Orton did like 3 of the same DDT.
It was 6 minutes long, actually.
Pardon me. Randy Orton did like 3 DDTs, and then Fiend was gonna beat him, and then he got distracted by goo.
Goo!
And then Orton hit his finisher once on him, which I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the Fiend's first match as the Fiend, which I believe was versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell.
Correct.
2019.
Correct.
I believe Seth hit his finisher 11 times and could not put him away.
Yeah.
But one RKO, was Randy like practicing the RKO really hard?
I mean,
got super good at it.
The RKO is the most devastating finisher in all of wrestling. So
clearly, because it put down a guy who doesn't sell.
It also put down Chris Benoit after Benoit hit all of his finishers.
That's true.
I mean, the goo was very distracting.
Monster, the Fiend or Chris Benoit?
The Fiend. The black oozing goo out of Alexa's hair was so disturbing to him that he was scared to kick out, because if he kicked out, then he'd have to face her.
Oh, I thought...
So if he got pinned...
If he kicked out, there'd be more goo.
Maybe. So if he kicked out, and he'd be like, oh no, now I have to look at her again. So he got pinned so that the lights would go out, and then when they came back on, and everybody was out of the ring, they could audibly hear the boos.
Yeah, so a lot of people were saying going in, hey, it's the first show with fans in a long time. The fans are going to be super into everything and super forgiving of everything. And they're not going to boo stuff that WWE doesn't want them to boo. Wrong-o! They booed the shit out of this.
Not only this, but a lot of the show, including Hulkamania, brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I haven't talked about that. He got mixed reaction day 1, and then by day 2, everyone had sort of settled on it. We're going to boo this motherfucker. So that was fun.
Yeah. So, and like, you could tell that Orton wasn't into it, especially coming down the ramp and pretending to slip like Mandy Rose did on day 1.
That was fun.
And then sort of like chuckling to himself.
Yeah.
But like, you could tell Randy didn't give 2 shits about this.
Yeah, but I'm glad he was able to get in like one quick being mean to women thing.
Yeah.
So.
I also did enjoy his white gear, though.
Good white gear. Never seen him in white before. It was interesting.
Yeah. So are you sticking with your -4?
No.
Or are you going to go with Meltzer's -1? Or are you going to go with my dud?
I honestly kind of like Meltzer's -1. I think that's about right. Which, if you'll look in the annals of WrestleMania history,
annals.
That is an improvement over the previous Randy Orton Bray Wyatt match, which was -1.5.
There you go.
So give him like 8, 9, 10 more WrestleManias. They'll be having some pretty good matches.
There you go. It's a slow progression.
Yeah.
Every year you get a little bit better.
No. Every 4 years.
Yes, every 4 years. It's like losing weight. You know, it's a long goal. So
yeah, if I lose half a pound every 4 years,
yeah,
when I'm dead, I'm gonna look all right.
Yeah. So you said The Fiend. I said Randy Orton. So clearly I won.
Oh, you said Orton.
I said Orton.
Interesting.
Yep. I don't
Good
know.
for you.
I don't know why, but
I don't know why either.
I think I just did it for the sake of being different.
Yeah, that might have been the case actually.
So after that, we get the women's number one contenders from the night previously of Natalya and Tamina, challenging the champions of Big Fat Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
So we're gonna do a 2-day WrestleMania, and only 2 people are gonna work both shows. Who should one of them definitely be?
Shayna Baszler.
No.
Kevin Owens.
No.
Randy Orton.
No, keep going.
I don't know who wrestled on day one. I don't even remember anymore. It's been too long since we talked about it. Is one of them one of the longest tenured and worst women's wrestlers they have?
Yes!
Oh. You're saying Tamina.
I'm saying Tamina. One of 2 people who worked both shows.
One of 2 people who had multiple WrestleMania matches and has been employed for way longer than they should be.
So long.
Considering their father was a murderer.
Yeah. She's been there so long. Although I feel like there were like 3 straight years she's
been injured a lot and stuff, and oh, Scott, good news.
Yeah.
She's a WWE trainee.
Oh, well,
so she's the best.
So much for Bianca. Step aside.
She did 3 matches for the Alpha and Sika.
Right.
And then went right to developmental.
Perfect.
So 2010. 11 years with the company.
Of Tamina.
11 years. And was only in FCW for 4 months, and then immediately debuted.
Main roster, perfect.
At WWE's Fatal 4-Way 2010.
Debuted on a pay-per-view.
In a 6-person tag, teaming with the Usos against the Hart Dynasty. Who's now her partner.
Wow. Full circle.
Full circle. This show looks like garbage, except for one match that Meltzer gave 4 stars.
Fatal 4-Way 2010?
Fatal 4-Way had 2 Fatal 4-Way title matches.
Is there a Jericho-Evan Bourne match?
4 stars, baby.
Boom. Still got it.
They could recreate it in AEW.
Hey.
There was a Divas 4-woman title match that has 1 good wrestler in it.
Great.
Then the Smackdown title has 2 good wrestlers in it.
Okay.
And the Raw title has 1 good wrestler in it.
It's a good show.
Bad show. Anyways, Tamina, the greatest WWE trainee of all time.
Correct.
So you predicted 1 star. I predicted dud.
Yep.
Meltzer gave it 2.25.
Okay.
I think dud was low, but it's because I thought the other team would be worse than Natalya.
You thought the other team would contain
would
Lana.
be Lana and Naomi, which I knew would be bad.
Yeah.
So dud is low. That being said, it's not going to be much higher than
2.5 is high.
2.25.
2.25 is high. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the finish, which I called.
You 1,000%
I 100% called the finish of Natalya finally gets Nia's big fat legs in the sharpshooter.
Literally like a Bret Hart sharpshootering Yokozuna.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, Shayna comes in and gets her in the Kirifuda clutch.
Yeah.
While still having Nia's legs sort of wrapped up.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was completely forgettable. Tamina looked awful and out of shape and sweaty.
How quickly we forget Nia's death-defying... I was going to say jump, which is not accurate.
Fall?
Dive.
Trip?
Fall off the second rope onto Tamina and Natty, who had to stand there
Yes.
like a couple of idiots.
Idiots. Like, just complete morons.
A long time until Nia got into correct falling position.
Yeah, absolutely. Ridiculous.
Nia, you should, up to very recently, you should be counting your lucky goddamn stars that Billy Kay exists, so as to avoid your common fate in our year-end awards. But don't worry, baby. You're strong number 2. You're still more unsafe than Billy. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I hate to say it, but Billy is more embarrassingly bad than you. Currently.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Not anymore, though.
Not anymore. Now we'll probably never see her again.
Probably not.
So
she's probably dead to the world.
If Nia has like a strong last 8 months and like makes a good case for herself for worst wrestler, I'll be open to it. But as it stands, it's Billy with a bullet.
Yeah, absolutely, Billy with a bullet.
Yeah. 1.5.
I don't know. 1. I'll stick with it. I don't care.
Interesting.
It was.
It's almost like you hate women.
I hate these women.
I like how every women's match is just one of us accusing the other of hating women.
Yeah, well, it's not entirely wrong. One of us actively hates women, and the other one also actively hates women. So it's not. Yeah. So sorry, I just have to rewrite the picking the correct person and not the right person because I wrote it in reverse order or like in opposite orders.
Ooh.
So other team, bam, see ya. That was wrong. Okay. So yeah, we both picked the other team, so we both got that wrong.
Correct.
Which, who cares? Next is the Battle of the Best Friends from Quebec. That would be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You said 3 1/4. I, much like Cesaro and Rollins, didn't want to over-predict it because I didn't want to be sad. Yeah. So I said 3.
Because they could have 5.
They could have a 6-star match, Scott, if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I would have given it 5 stars had I got the dive through the turnbuckle on the outside.
I know you really wanted the through the corner ropes.
Did it have a name once?
I don't know.
I think it had a name once, but I don't remember anymore. However, we didn't get that. So, yeah, I didn't want to overhype it and then be disappointed.
Correct.
Meltzer gave it 3 3/4.
Yeah.
Which we both think is low.
Yeah. Now, they got less than 10 minutes.
They did 9 minutes.
If I'm correct.
Which
is too bad, because very much like Cesaro Rollins. Give him another 5 and holy shit.
Yeah.
Now, this match made me feel a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And 2 specifically. One was gladness that these two guys who have been wrestling each other forever and friends forever got to have a singles match at WrestleMania in front of fans. Luckily, it wasn't last year where there wouldn't have been fans. So that's awesome for them, and I'm so happy for them. And then at the same time, the other emotion I felt was pure, unbridled anger.
Hatred.
This was
racism, bigotry.
Yeah,
because one of them's Syrian.
This was so good, it made me angry because I'm like, you assholes,
you
like
motherfuckers.
You could do this all the time
with several people.
All the time. You made Sammy a fucking manager for a year.
He did win the Intercontinental Champion.
As a manager, which is impressive. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
That's how good he is.
It was Zayn Danielson last year.
Yes.
With Danielson had Gulak in his corner.
Yeah, and Zayn didn't do shit.
And he just ran away and was a bitch
All he
time.
did was run away, get his ass kicked by Danielson, and then fluke finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, wildly disappointing.
Very disappointing. Very shitty.
The American Dragon and El Generico in a title match at WrestleMania and it to be nothing.
And it was a joke.
Yeah, where they had a pushing 5-star match at PWG in 2007.
Yep. But that's...
And still could.
Don't be sad.
They're both just as good now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Zayn's maybe a little... he's a little heftier.
They've maybe both
but Owens is in better shape.
The slightest step, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So we both said Owens to win, which we correctly did.
Yeah.
Are you how high are you gonna go?
Given the
How low
length,
can you go?
You'd be shocked. Given the length, I think it's hard to go above 4 even, but I will give it 4 even.
Interesting. I'm gonna give it 4 1/4.
Good for you. I wish I could.
Which makes it
I wish I had your loose morals.
Which currently makes it tied with
for second?
Cesaro and Rollins.
Yeah.
You're right.
I just wish it had a few more minutes.
But the one thing I did like about it is that it didn't involve Logan Paul
That
during
made me
the
really
match.
happy. Yeah.
That he was only post-match
purely
shit.
100% clean match.
Yeah.
And, like, they did a lot of shit. They did an apron brainbuster.
Yep.
Two fucking...
Pop-up powerbomb was the first move in the match.
The correct first move was a finisher. Like 2 exploders in the corner. A great fucking half and half.
Half and half, yeah. Incredible.
But what I was just wishing for, and as it was happening, I knew it was like the finish just because of the way it was going. When he hit the stunner, I'm like, this is the finish. But like if Zayn had kicked out of the stunner and they did like 5 more minutes crazy finishing sequence, holy shit. But even as it was with just the 1 stunner finish, 9 minutes, it's easily 4 stars. It was great.
I would imagine if they were in charge of booking it, that would have happened.
For sure.
You don't get a lot.
No, you're in the middle of the card.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's...
the women's tag title match went longer than them.
It went 14.
Yeah, I feel like things would have been better served switching the times on those two, but what do I know? I'm just a genius.
Other than the main event, it was the second longest match on day 2.
The women's tag?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It went longer than Ripley and Asuka.
Time well spent.
Yeah. Great. Just what we want. So the next one was Riddle defending the U.S. title against Shame, Mr. Sheamus O'Shaughnessy.
Did we? Oh, we didn't. We said it off air. The women's tag, where they were building to Natty making the hot tag to Tamina, and they fucking missed because of Tamina.
Because Tamina just had to put her hand out,
pulled her hand back.
out and down.
Like she might as well have pulled her hand back all the way and then run her hand through her hair and got your ass.
You mean the Kevin Nash,
the classic Kevin Nash to Bailey
that he did, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was 100% accidental. It was just very funny.
Yeah, stupid. Idiot. So for Sheamus and Riddle for the U.S. title, you said 2.5.
It was better than that.
I said 3.
Everyone thinks it was better than Owen Zayn.
Meltzer gave it a fucking 4.
Yeah. Meltzer gave it higher than Owen Zayn. It's higher than Owen Zayn on Cage Match.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Am I that biased towards Owens and Zayn and against Sheamus that I'm not seeing the forest for the trees?
No.
Or, counterpoint, am I just right?
You're right. I think, honestly, I genuinely believe that people are so hyped on it because of the finish.
The finish is good.
Because the finish was cool.
Because he blasted him with it,
yeah.
And exploded.
And actually, I saw...
blood everywhere.
I saw a, quick video of just that. He actually got his leg way more extended than we thought he did.
Yeah.
On first viewing, we thought it was like a Bruges knee.
Yeah.
But it was a Bruges kick, and he actually got almost fully extended. It was just a weird camera angle.
Yeah. Oh, an underrated blast in the face, also in the women's tag, was that Shayna knee on Natalya.
Yeah.
Which apparently put her tooth through her lip.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Shayna knows how to work just like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Shayna needs to stop hurting people. Because I like Shayna. Also,
I do.
The Natty and Shayna parts of that tag
were excellent.
Were perfectly good. They were doing really good looking headlock takedowns and shit, which I know is a basic thing, but it's white and white-ish women.
I think you can call a spades, guys.
I'll call the Queen of Spades the Queen of Spades. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, Shayna is very serviceable and very good.
Yeah.
But she's just a trained fighter who has a hard time not being a fighter.
What do you mean don't fuck people up?
What do you mean I shouldn't hit them in the mouth as hard as I can and knock out their teeth?
What do you mean Barks has bites?
That's the second teeth knocking out she's done.
Yeah, well, this one she didn't lose teeth, just she made a hole in her lip.
Yeah.
Which is also bad. I don't recommend that.
Also bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the match itself was fine. It was a very middle-of-the-road television match.
Yeah.
With a good finish.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't really let Riddle do too much crazy stuff. You know, like he
Yeah.
got to do some spots, he threw some kicks, like, but it wasn't really much of anything, especially for a WrestleMania.
Yeah, although he at least got to wrestle seriously.
Yeah, he actually got to like be a badass, not just a silly boy.
They're doing this thing where they book guys as throughout the entire build to a match as complete comedy geeks, but then when they actually go in and have the big match, they really have the big match. Like Gargano on NXT is an absolute silly goose.
Yeah.
And then he goes and like crushes it with Kushida and beats him.
Yeah.
And then Sami Zayn going into this, silliest of geese, and then has a great match with Owens, completely clean, no bullshit.
Yep.
And then Riddle is an R-Truth level comedy geek.
Yep.
And it has like a big hard-hitting match with Sheamus.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I know a lot of people online are very high on Sheamus and think that this is the best he's ever been.
Yeah, which I said, I don't know, maybe it is. It's a low bar.
Yeah, the bar.
Maybe the bar is the bar.
Maybe the bar is the bar. Yeah, it's a real, like, okay, if he's his best now, when was he his second best?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it's, the rest of his career has been so
His second best was literally
mediocre or less than mediocre.
it was literally his one good match with Daniel Bryan in 2012 was his second best.
And some bar tag stuff.
And some bar tags.
Yeah, like it's not like he's League of Nations. Remember when he was world champion in the League of Nations?
Good times.
Yeah, I mean 4 is very high, and if Meltzer really thinks this was better than, like, okay, maybe if we are biased to Owens and Zayn, like, you're really telling me this was the same as Cesaro and
this was not
Rollins?
the same as Cesaro Rollins.
Like, no, Cesaro Rollins was way better than
Again,
this.
I'm extremely biased towards Cesaro.
Sure,
but
that's two matches.
Let's be reasonable here.
You know?
Yeah. And neither Owens Zayn nor Cesaro Rollins completely botched a top rope air raid crash.
No, absolutely not.
Also, the way he was going to do it was insane.
Jumping out?
Well, walking up to the top rope with him on.
He's a big, strong boy.
Because Sheamus was standing on the middle rope on the outside and got him into like white noise position and then was going to walk up to the top rope, which is harder than you think it is.
I don't think he should be allowed to call it white noise anymore. That's a little questionable
and then
for the whitest man in the company.
Yeah. And then just completely falls and salvages it with a regular.
Yeah, somehow manages to save it, but only out of pure dumb luck. Like it's not like he actively was like, "I'm gonna land on my feet."
Yeah, I'm gonna fall off the top rope, land on my feet, hit it regular.
Yeah. No, not happening. No. It was a complete fluke.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it 3.5. Yeah, I think it's fine.
I think 3.5 is right.
Yeah, I don't think you can actively give it anything higher than that.
No, I don't want to give it 4.
We both said Sheamus, so we are both right.
Yeah.
The next match was the Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental title of the I'm from Africa, so I'm blacker than you, Apollo Crews.
As it was known, the real ass boop match.
And I'm from the Caribbean, so I'm less black, Big E.
But still pretty black.
And also has an African name.
Yeah.
So you and I both originally said 2.5.
Yeah.
Meltzer gave it a 3. It was 6 minutes.
It was short,
and not a lot happened, but at least they didn't blow the finish. However, the finish still wasn't good.
No.
The finish was the re-debuting Babatunde.
My co-star and close personal friend from Netflix's The Main Event.
Who I imagine you didn't even say a word to?
Maybe a couple, but he was kind of standoffish. Maybe he was just being 7'2".
Or he also could sense the desperation in your voice, and so he avoided you.
You know me. I'm a big bad wrestler starfucker.
If there's one thing I know you as, it's that.
Yeah.
Re-debuting as like African bodyguard guy.
Yeah.
Commander Azim the Dream?
Adele Dazeem.
The
wickedly talented.
But, of course, the commentators in the same retardedness as not knowing what a box was.
Who dis?
Who that guy? Never seen him before. Don't know who he is. Tell me something about him. I don't know him.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally on Raw not even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So...
I like we're back in the area of everyone has a giant.
This is a real Jackson Andrews Bam Neely situation.
Yeah, a real Billy Crystal and that guy situation.
Name him.
Adewale Akinyele. No, I'm just doing Mr. Echo, from Lost. And he's not even African. I'll know when I hear it. John Horgan, the premier of British Columbia.
George A. Mirzan. My Giant, baby. Love it.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Love Billy Crystal. I'll watch anything Billy Crystal's in. I don't care how bad it looks.
Did you know Billy Crystal was like shredded when he was young?
Really?
It's crazy. I saw a picture of like young Billy Crystal with abs. Blew my fucking mind.
Let me see if I can find a sexy Billy Crystal. Oh, from
Use your words.
Oh, what's that bad movie that he's in with that?
Soul Man.
No, buddy cop movie where
Another 48 Hours.
No, it's bad though.
Bulletproof.
I don't believe he's in 1998's Bulletproof.
I'm naming buddy cop movies. You do your job.
Do your job, ref. Okay. Running Scared.
Running Scared.
It sucks. It's awful.
Yeah.
But that's the movie where he's Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes off his shirt and you're like, whoa.
What?
You, sir, are supposed to be a comedian and not ripped.
You're supposed to be a schlubby Jew. What are you doing?
Hey, now.
What?
He's not schlubby. He's just old. There's a difference. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, look at that shit.
Well,
It's crazy.
when you're young, you stay in shape. When you're old, you get old and fat and Jewy.
I'm terrified to turn Jewish when I get old.
Yeah, I don't know. This match was whatever. It
Again,
it was a SmackDown match.
the ring was surrounded by drums on tables.
Yeah.
Not one was used.
The only time it got used was when Apollo Crews accidentally got thrown into one.
Yeah. They did use a gong, though.
Yeah, but it was
Sort of.
whatever. Yeah, he tried to hit him with it, and he got hit with a something
Kick or something. Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, what a shitty way to just kind of like squash Big E.
Yeah.
Like, it did nothing for him. It didn't make him look good at all. It didn't make Apollo Crews look good at all.
No.
I'm sticking with my 2.5 stars.
What did young David give it?
3.
No, 3's too high. Yeah. They do anything cool? They did like a DVD on the apron.
Yeah, but after Owens and Zayn did a brainbuster on the apron.
Yeah. And did they do anything from like the apron to the floor? Did they do something like onto a table or onto stairs or something?
They did a stairs spot.
They did do a stairs spot. What's that worth?
I think Apollo took a really gross bump on the stairs, didn't he? Off the apron?
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. So I was thinking 2.25. If they did in fact do a gross stair spot, I'll bump it up a quarter. I'll give them 2.5. It's not 3 though.
It is not 3. It's way under 3.
For 6 minutes. For 6 minutes with an interference finish.
And we both chose Apollo.
Yeah. I think I had every title changing. You had every title but one, if I'm correct.
Yes. So after that, then we get the Raw Women's title match of Asuka defending against Rhea Ripley. You said 3 3/4. I said 3 3/4. Meltzer gave it 3 3/4. Are we all sticking with 3 3/4?
No.
Are you going higher or lower?
I'm going lower.
I agree.
Because when we were watching it, I was like, have we just been watching like too much wrestling today and I'm like burnt out and not into it? But like I was not feeling the match. It was fine.
Yeah.
But like it was nothing special. I thought both are capable of way better. And then when I was like wondering after, I'm like am I so out of touch? No, it's the children that are wrong.
It's the children that are wrong.
They don't have a particularly high rating on Cage Match. So when I looked at that, I'm like, oh, so I'm not crazy.
6.49.
Yeah, it feels like a 6.49. Like it's, I think it's 3 or 3 1/4. 3 1/4, I think is what it is. Like it was competent, but I wanted way more than I got.
Yeah, it's not like they're bad.
No.
Like, both of them are perfectly capable of having a good, solid match.
One is the best woman,
and
the other is a very good woman.
It only went 13, which, compared to the SmackDown one that main evented day 1, that seems like a real, like, we're out of time, just go shorter.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, I never really believed Asuka was going to win.
No.
Like, I think I knew Rhea was going to win, and there was never really any, like, this is Asuka's chance to win. Like, I didn't really feel like any of that was happening.
No, I agree.
So I'm just gonna give it a 3. Just a straight up 3.
That's fair. Yeah, I wanted a lot more from that.
So finally, the main event of day 2 and the main event of WrestleMania was the WWE Blue Universal title triple threat of Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You said 3.5. I said 3. Meltzer gave it 4.5.
Best match on the show, as per Meltzer.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good at times and pretty bad at times.
I pretty much liked it all the way through.
Yeah?
I thought the work was good. I thought Edge looked better than I expected him to.
Yeah. I didn't really like the Jey Uso stuff.
Oh, no, that's annoying.
I know that you kind of have to do it
Yeah.
to get him out of the match.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was sort of unnecessary.
It's dumb that this dominant heel monster needs a guy to cheat for him in every defense.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it's not like Roman is the kind of guy in the course of turning heel that has been like, I need you to go do this sneaky stuff for me. I need you to do this for me. It's more about you need to prove yourself, and it's not like he's asking for bullshit, interference, help, whatever. So it just seemed really like just unnecessary for the match.
Yeah.
You know, and if Roman is this big dominant heel, you'd think that you wouldn't need to do that stuff. So to me, that's just sort of like they didn't really know where they were going. I think the finish changed. Like,
yeah.
I think this was one of those matches where they didn't know who was winning until the day of.
I think so. Although, from what because I thought the same thing. Because apparently Fiend Orton and at least 2, if not 3 other matches were changed day of the show. The finishes were changed day of the show. Yeah. And this one definitely seemed like one, because I'm like, really? You're going to start and end days 1 and 2 of WrestleMania with a heel world title retaining?
Retaining the title.
That's crazy. Like, you never do that on WrestleMania. The point of fucking WrestleMania is for the big face challenger to beat the heel champion. Yep. That's what WrestleMania is for.
Send everybody home happy, baby.
Yeah. That was the deal for a year. That was the deal every year.
Except this year.
Until 2000, I think.
Well, it's a real, like, once Hunter got his claws into things.
Of course,
yeah. Then it was like...
until the Reign of Terror.
The Roman Reigns of Terror.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean...
So I was saying, sorry. Yeah. The reason it might not be is because what I'm hearing now is Roman is being protected as fuck for as long as it takes until he wrestles The Rock, Brock Lesnar, or John Cena.
Huh.
So he might not lose. He might hold the title for another full year.
Yeah.
Never lose, and wrestle one of those guys in 2022.
I think that's smart. If that's actually what they're doing, that's good.
Sure.
Because they spend too much time on nothing title changes or, trading back and forth that leads to nothing. That I think if they do that, granted, he could wrestle Brock any moment. Yeah. You just have to give Brock money. It's not like you have to wait around for Brock.
It's not like there's a code that needs to be cracked with Brock. Throw a bunch of money.
The match is Roman Rock.
Yes.
That's the match. Roman Cena isn't the match.
No.
Roman Rock.
The other 2 matches have been done.
Yeah. Roman Rock is what's the big money. Like next year at WrestleMania, you can fill the entire fucking stadium in Dallas, and The Rock will do it because it's his cousin and he wants to help him.
Yeah.
That's
just like he helped him at Royal Rumble 2015.
Yeah, of course. They won't boo if Dwayne's out there. Oh no, they're booing.
Oh god,
do they hate The Rock?
Roman more than they like The Rock? We are screwed.
We are fucked. Yeah, If that's what their long-term goal is, that is smart booking, and I respect that. Now, that being said,
yes,
what's not going to change their mind at SummerSlam or Survivor Series or Rumble or whatever? Like they're always like 1 second away from forgetting everything they've done for the last however many months to just be like, well, fuck it, let's just do it. Like let's just put the title on the Miz, you know?
Yep.
So
sometimes you just got to put the title on the Miz.
I think there was a lot of good stuff in this. Like Danielson obviously looked great. Edge didn't look bad at all. Roman looked good. They stole the almost tap out but get it saved and then into a submission move from NXT the night before.
Yeah.
They literally did the exact same spot the night before. So
yeah.
It's cool. And I don't appreciate Daniel Bryan throwing headbutts at Edge. Like, I think that's a terrible idea.
Not great, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Can't win them all. I don't know. I think it's still... I'm going to give it a 4, and it's up to you to change my mind.
A 4 even?
4 even.
That's what I'm giving it.
Oh.
So
Scott, don't change my mind.
I'm going to do a poor job changing your mind.
Fair. So that's a 4. This one, however, Scott got optimistic that his boy Daniel Bryan would actually get a push, and he said Daniel Bryan, and I said there's no way they're taking it off Roman, and they're going to do a Daniel Bryan versus Edge feud so that Roman can move on, and I was right.
It's just so crazy that both world titles, come on!
Yep.
What are you doing? The first match and the last match?
Yep.
2 of the most important matches?
I don't tell you. I'm not in charge, because if I was in charge, I would have done the right thing.
I hope so.
But, no, I probably wouldn't. I probably would have done the exact same thing, but...
Yeah.
I don't know, I think Roman's the only credible heel you've actually built up.
Yes,
and so taking it off of him so quickly... like
so quickly?
Well, yeah, I mean...
He's had it for 7 years.
He's had it for 7 years.
He's had it since this summer. August?
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, but when you're so used to, like, okay, well, let's take it off McIntyre and give it to Orton. All right, let's give it back to Orton.
That was so stupid.
All right, let's go from Orton to McIntyre.
The 2-week Orton reign
to Miz.
Gotta go Miz.
To Bobby.
Yeah.
It just... It doesn't make any sense that they do that, and they do it constantly, so I'm glad that they're going to at least try and do a real... Because, like, Brock doesn't count.
Yeah. I don't know why McIntyre didn't hold it for a year.
Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
And also, what was the point of having him lose the title to Miz to then win, and, like, being a Rumble winner the year before, to have his big WrestleMania moment that they then can't do and panic about... So then they take it off him so they can do the big WrestleMania win again.
And don't.
And then they're like, nah, JK. JK, bro.
JK. Bobby has more muscles.
J.K. Simmons. And his real legal government name. It's so mind-boggling. But I guess, like, all of their booking doesn't make any sense. So I don't understand why they do anything.
No, it's truly hard to know. I can't believe we haven't mentioned the camera work yet.
Yeah.
Because I watch very little of WWE, so it's even more jarring when I see it. But it's horrible. How could anyone allow that to happen more than once? The cuts and zooms.
Pushing, cut, push, cut, push.
Fuck.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's
disgusting. It makes me physically sick.
I would love to just quietly sit in the production truck watching him do his work.
To watch and listen what's going on there?
Like, I couldn't even imagine what it's like to be somebody who's employed by that company in that department. Because, like, you in theory, as a worker, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. You would have to be trained in broadcast journalism or like editing, film editing or something. You have to know that is a horrible way to do anything.
That it looks horrible.
The way that Kevin Dunn produces and directs is like the same way that Neil Breen edits his movies. that he
Even more
doesn't
annoying, actually.
know how to do it.
Yeah.
So he just thinks that this is the correct way to do it.
Yeah, and no one ever told him any better.
Yeah. He never learned that this camera cutting is a horrible idea. It's like, it's so jarring if you watch, like, let's say we were to watch a WrestleMania match from this year and then immediately go from that to a New Japan match or an AEW match or something, and you're like, oh, they're only cutting during, like, transitions
when it
that
makes sense to cut.
Weird.
And very few zooms.
Minimal zoom.
I would say minimal zooms. Yeah.
They only zoom out when Okada does his move.
Because it's cool.
Or when when best friends go
are going to hug, of course.
But like, yeah, it's just, it's insane to me that a man can be in charge of a live production that does that amateur, like, uneducated in production or broadcasting, like, and he's been doing it for, like, what, fucking 40 years?
Forever, yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I hope Kevin Dunn dies in Minecraft.
I'm very disappointed he's not dead. But I can't even imagine what a non-Kevin Dunn... he doesn't even get a Wikipedia page?
I like that the actor Kevin Dunn does, because I like him.
Me too, but...
He's very good on Veep.
It's very disappointing that I don't get to look up maybe the worst thing to happen to wrestling.
I'm glad he doesn't have a Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, I figured somebody would have put one up to be, like, to shit on him, but... All right, well, disappointing. He's not... I can't even find out how long he's worked for the company.
So, like, since the 80s, for sure. Because he was absolutely there in the 90s. I believe the cutting and zooming is a byproduct of them going to HD. Like, that's when it started.
Yeah, that's...
Because they didn't think the shit looked good enough, so we have to, like, trick people by never letting them see Impact.
Yeah. So it sounds like his dad...
My dad,
Dennis Dunn...
Double D,
worked for Vince Sr.
Oh, wow.
He handled all WWE programming beginning in 1972.
So he's a legacy.
Then his dad taught him TV business, and he went to Towson State University.
Good school.
And then he was hired full-time by Vinnie Mac Jr. in 1984.
Boom.
He functioned as an associate producer for all domestic WWE programming from 84 to 87. And he took over all broadcast... he took over all producing for WWE television in 1987.
Jesus.
So from 87 to 2021.
34 years.
He's been in charge of production. And it's ridiculous that only happened when they changed to HD. Like, up until then, he was fine.
It was fine. Like, it wasn't anything impressive, but it wasn't actively aggravating.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst filming you've ever seen.
It didn't make you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, now it does.
Yeah.
You got to zoom in on those strikes, man, to make them look more effective. That's the only way people are going to believe that they're actually throwing fake punches. But also
cut immediately as the strike lands, so you can't see it.
You don't want them to see that they're not hitting them, but you want them to feel like they're hitting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's complete horseshit.
I hate it.
I hate it so much. It's made wrestling, like WWE, unwatchable.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, we're watching 2 shows a year.
Yeah.
Right? Rumble and Mania,
baby.
That's it. I don't even care to watch either of those anymore.
No. It's out of obligation at this point.
It's obligation of my childhood.
Yeah.
And that I have to do it. But yeah, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, young naive Drew, whose dick still worked, would be disappointed in you if you didn't watch Mania.
Young naive Drew, who probably watched SummerSlam 1992 30 times in the summer of 1993, just continuously. But yeah, I don't know. So enough Kevin Dunn talk. He fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised. This Rumble was better than I thought it would be.
Overachieved. Yeah.
Overachieved.
Which
so we can add it to the list.
First time we can say that in 6 years.
Yeah, but hey, I won. So Scott, you did 9 and 6.
Okay.
And I did 12 and 3.
Oh, wow. So all 3 different ones, you were right, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to
Now, let's not talk about day 2 of the Dome show, where I went 0-7.
you had a rough day 2 Dome. And while it is all about the numbers, and while we're on that, so where we're at currently in WWE is on Mania, 10 of 17 matches were won by heels, including all of the singles, including every title except Bianca, I believe.
Yeah.
Every title match was won by a heel, which is absolute. Am I off on one?
Apollo, Sheamus, Nia and Shayna.
Both men's world titles. One women's world title.
Yeah, Ripley was technically
working, but now seems to be a face.
That's all of them.
Yeah, and so as it stands, all but one titles in WWE are held by heels, which is
even in like NXT titles a heel, secondary titles a heel.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight was just won by a face.
Just one, yep.
The tag titles are faces. And then in UK, Walter's a heel.
Yeah.
And whoever the tag champs are. Is it still Gallus?
Pretty Deadly.
Oh, Pretty Deadly, who are heels.
Are they heels? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen them.
And then the women's title is Kaylee Ray.
Yeah.
And the women's champion in NXT is Reina Gonzalez. So literally...
Who just won it as a heel, but also might be a face now?
Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
MSK, Kushida, Bianca Belair,
the end.
Rhea Ripley. That's it.
Yeah, if she's a face.
If she's a face. So 3, maybe 4 in the entire company.
In the entire WWE umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I guess...
Which is definitely what you want coming out of WrestleMania. You want a bunch of heel wins and everyone mad.
Yeah, well, it's a real... Not to get off on a tangent here, because I don't get off, is... I just feel like that is a trend in wrestling now, is that it's just so much easier to just book heels.
It's easier to just
that everyone's a heel.
It's easier to constantly get heat than it is to actually book a credible babyface.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like heat forever.
There is the babyface heat of people who are doing it in spite of what their character is. Jericho, even as a full-blown heel, was getting face heat because he's Chris Jericho.
Because he's Jericho, yeah.
So you have to turn him face. But then it's like, okay, here's a guy... I don't really have an example, but I mean, here's a guy, mid-card guy, who we're trying to make a face, and it's too much work to try and make him a face.
Yeah.
So let's just turn him heel because it's easier.
Yeah.
Because we won't have to fix the problem.
Or alternately just get heat on him forever and he never really gets to overcome
it. Or that, right? It's like they've completely run out of steam, and I feel like it's every company. It's not just WWE, although WWE is they're the number one offender.
Biggest culprit.
That they don't have the time, patience, or effort to build a face.
Yeah.
What they do is they build them for a bit, then they either lose interest and make them like a jobber, or they make them a tweener for a while and then just turn them heel.
Yeah.
There's no sticking it out as a face. Like even AEW, they were kind of uncertain on Page and we're gonna make him a heel, but then no, let's keep him a face. And they just couldn't really decide because he did heelish stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was the same thing with Omega, where they were like, he's a face, but he's doing some heelish stuff. But we'll just keep him a face. Oh, fuck, let's turn him heel.
Let's go heel.
It's not the same time where, you just keep somebody as a face. Yeah. Everyone's got to turn heel at some point because it's so much easier to book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just lazy booking. Get Jim Cornette in there. I feel like he knows what he's talking about. He can do it. I have faith in him.
Why not?
Anyways, that was WrestleMania. It was better than we thought, and I'm glad that you just listened to 2 hours of podcast. I'm glad that we aren't going to have to record any more today.
No, I'm glad we're more than a third through today.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Whatever. Hey, if you feel like it, you should give Scott and I money because I just moved and I need money. And
that's right. Drew's destitute now. Drew talks a big game about his house on the beach, but it's
because I'm living on the beach. I sleep on the sand.
No, Vancouver has a debtor's prison on the beach, and that's where Drew's living. So send us some money at paypal.me/notscotthenson, and I'll pass a couple of shekels on to Drew.
Schmeckles. Okay, that's it. Bye. See ya. Get lost. Never come back.